Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Some call it overplanning. At Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator system. When the power goes out, your Generac system kicks in, so you've always got power no matter what. Upgrade your home with a Generac home standby generator system, professionally installed by the energy pros at Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento.
Sacktown.
And welcome in.
Grant Napear. How you been?
You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Good afternoon, everybody. Broadcasting live from Bennett's Roseville until 6 o'clock. Come on out and see me. Brian's got some chips and dip and cookies, and there will be assorted sliders throughout the afternoon. Come join us here at Bennett's in Roseville. Coming up in a little bit, we will talk a little baseball in terms of the instant replay with balls and strikes with a guy that just retired as an MLB umpire last year. That is Brian Knight. Olden Polynice is coming by at 4 o'clock. We'll talk some NBA basketball with him. Of course, we got Grant's Rant and your phone calls at 916-779-0929. We say rest in peace to the legendary football coach Lou Holtz, who passed away today at the age of 89, an iconic figure at Notre Dame, a national championship in the late 80s at Notre Dame. Lou Holtz, gone at the age of 89. So yesterday, right about this time, I got a call from a guy named Austin, and he was talking to me about not talking football, and I told him that yesterday I had been in the car for about 2 hours, and I listened to a variety of national sports programs, and they were all talking football. So I got in the car today at about 9:45 in the morning, and I was in the car for 45 minutes, and so I sampled 3 different national sports shows, and guess what, Austin? Nobody was talking about the World Baseball Classic. Nobody was talking about the NHL. Nobody was talking about the NBA. You know what all 3 were talking about for the entire 45 minutes that I was in the car? They were talking about the National Football League, okay? So here's the deal. We all have our own individual preferences, right? You want to hear this? You want to hear that? I try to talk about what the masses want. So Austin thought that I was talking about the Kings a little too much when yesterday in the opening segment, I talked about that disgraceful team for about 45 seconds. All right? I talked to him. I didn't, maybe not even 45 seconds. It may have been 15 seconds. It may have been 30 seconds. But I didn't spend a lot of time talking about the Kings that really a whole community for the most part. I'll give you an example about this. So I'm having dinner last night with 2 individuals. And one of the guys that I'm having dinner with has 2 tickets to the Kings and has had them for many, many years at $1,000 a piece. So he drops $2,000 per game. So we're having dinner and he's like, yep, another $2,000 down the drain. Can't sell them. Can't give them away. But I did give these away. And he said, I told the Kings that I'm not renewing. I would say that's 5 or 6 people already this week. Some that I know, some that I don't know. Okay? That are not renewing their season tickets. And I'm just curious at 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I'm curious about how you feel about this. If you're a season ticket holder, are you renewing your tickets? Or are you like, show me, and then maybe I'll come back? What are you doing? I'd be very curious. So I just found that to be very interesting. But I try to gauge where this community is with this professional basketball team. And you know what? A lot of people are like, just wake me up next year. And I get it. I get it. But the NFL is king. It's always been king in this country. You can talk NFL 12 months out of the year. And here's the reality of the situation. This is a huge time for the National Football League. This is a huge time. The new year starts coming up next week. NFL free agency, all the moves that have already been made. I talked about it yesterday. This is a huge time with teams restructuring players' contracts and everything else, right? You see a team like the New England Patriots. They're saying goodbye to Stephon Diggs after one season. You know what it is about Diggs? What is it about the wide receiver position where it just seems like all of the head cases in the NFL play wide receiver? Like, what is that all about? Like, you don't have head cases at quarterback. You don't have head cases on the defensive line. You don't have head cases that are linebackers. They're all wide receivers. Like, what is the deal with wide receivers in the NFL that they are the problem children of the NFL? Like, what is that all about? They're everywhere. I don't get it, right? I mean, you got A.J. Brown with Philadelphia that wins the Super Bowl last year. He wins the Super Bowl. And all he's doing this year is complaining. Complaining, no, I only got 1 ball. Complaining, I only got 4 balls. Complaining this, complaining that. You just won a Super Bowl. Hello? You won a Super Bowl. And you're on a team that, might go back to the Super Bowl, and you're upset because you're not getting the ball enough. It's like, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. So there is big football news, and the Chiefs are trading Trent McDuffie, is an all-pro cornerback, to the Rams. And it's just going to be interesting for the Chiefs, because I wonder, when you look at the Chiefs and the injury to Mahomes, and we haven't yet heard what Kelsey's going to do, but he's not playing forever, and he is not the same player that he was. And you look at that division with Denver, who won the division last season, and, the Chargers probably aren't going anywhere. The Raiders are still a ways away, even if, Fernando Mendoza turns out that by really good. It's not going to happen this year. And speaking of the Raiders, so Mike Silver, who was a guest on this show about 2 months ago, he's been covering the NFL for decades. He's one of the most respected writers in the National Football League. He currently writes for The Athletic. And he wrote a very interesting story today as it relates to Max Crosby. Now, Max is 29 years old, and he is the real deal. Went to, by the way, there's a conference called the Mid-American Conference. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sacramento State is in that conference. That's right. Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan. But no. Let's go further east. UMass, Buffalo. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, Max Crosby played in the great city of Ypsilanti, Michigan. By the way, if you've never been there, don't put it on your bucket list, okay? I don't encourage you to go to Ypsilanti, Michigan. First of all, you shouldn't go to a place that you don't know how to spell, all right? So, like, Ypsilanti, does anyone know how to spell that? If you don't know how to spell it, don't go there. Like, that's always been my thought process when I travel. You know what? If I can't spell the place, I'm not going there. That's very simple. But anyway, he wrote a story today about Max Crosby, and I'm going to put it into simple terms. He believes that Crosby is going to be done and be playing elsewhere because of what happened in December when he was informed that he would be shut down and not be able to play in the final 2 games. All right? Now, in all fairness to the Raiders, they ended up with a record of 3-14, and they secured the number 1 pick in the draft, which they really need. So, like, I can't really argue with that, but it did not sit well with Crosby. So here we are with a dominant defensive player, one of the best in all of the NFL, and he has to decide. Of course, ultimately the Raiders will decide, but does he want to finish his career with a horrible franchise, or does he want to be playing meaningful games in the month of January and maybe February? Now, Max has loved the Raiders organization. We get that. But he's running out of time here. He is running out of time. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether this week and before the 11th, Max Crosby is traded to another team as the Raiders move on into the future. Going to be very interesting. So if you want to check out that story, that's Mike Silver in The Athletic. All right, 779-0929. By the way, I want to give you the update on Keon Ellis. I don't know if you've ever heard of Keon Ellis. He used to play for the Sacramento Kings and was buried on the bench. He was a guy that on many nights couldn't get onto the floor. He was a guy in many nights that would end up playing, if he did play, 4 minutes or 5 minutes after DNP. So Keon Ellis is not good enough to play for the Sacramento Kings. but he's good enough to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the fourth best team in the East, who beat the top seed Detroit Pistons last night, 113-109. And Mr. Ellis, who's not good enough to play for the Sacramento Kings, once again had a very good game with a 27-minute performance off the Cavaliers bench and playing in the fourth quarter. So a guy that is good enough to play in crunch time for the fourth best team in the East is not good enough to get a sweat and get off the bench most games in Sacramento. Gee, that's a really good organization. They know what they're doing, don't they? It's a freaking joke. I mean, I talk about this all the time. It's a joke. And we know that this team has had a multitude of injuries. I get that. You get that. But here's the reality of the situation. It is a clown show right now. All the players, with maybe the exception of the rooks, want out. They can't wait for the season to end. And I've talked about this, okay? I don't have to talk to any of the players. I don't have to go into the locker room because I've lived it. I know what it's like. And I told you this is exactly what was going to happen. And I told you we're not at rock bottom. And I told you everything that was going to happen because I've lived it, I've experienced it, and I know. And I haven't deviated from what I told you back in October. And here we are in March. And the same thing is going to happen for the final, 19 games of the season. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And this team is not 1 year away. It's multiple years away from being a team that I think you can really get excited about. And that's without even knowing who they may draft next year. What they definitely do need to do, and it has to be done the second the season ends, they have to notify Doug Christie that he's not coaching the team anymore. All right, that's the first thing that has to happen. If that doesn't happen, then you're going to have another clown show next year. That's just the reality of it, okay? It's just the reality. Your eyes should tell you that that's the reality of the situation. And so at that point, then the question becomes, who is going to become the next head coach of this franchise? Who are you going to keep? Who are you going to be able to move? Sabonis doesn't want to be here. DeRozan doesn't want to be here, okay? You have a very nice rookie in Max Reynaud. And again, how about last night? Very good. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He looks like a really good draft pick from Scott Perry. Really good. And we saw how well Dylan Cardwell was playing. Undrafted free agent. But, come on now. You think that you're going to get a 19-year-old kid that you're going to draft in June and he's going to come in and turn your franchise around next year? I don't think so. So give me a call, 916-779-0929. We're going to talk some baseball here coming up in a little bit with the World Baseball Classic going on, who, by the way, Brian Knight worked the World Baseball Classic over in Seoul, South Korea a couple of years ago. I had to make sure he flew on the right airline and business class with the lounge on the Airbus A380. I wanted to make sure he was comfortable. I wanted to make sure he had, a nice glass of wine, flying over there with his wife. I wanted to make sure that he was going in style. I don't want to make sure that he's going to be going on the middle seat and coach. So we got that taken care of. Of course, baseball paid for it, but I wanted to make sure he was going to be happy on that Airbus A380 on Korean Airlines nonstop to Seoul. But anyway, he did the World Baseball Classic. We'll get his take on what he remembers in terms of the atmosphere over there. And, of course, the ABS system, the automatic balls and strike system, is that good for baseball? How's it going to be used? What are some of the nuances? Brian's going to be helping us out with that coming up in the next segment. But as I said, if you want to call the show, you're more than welcome to at 916-779-0929. Don't forget, on Saturday, I am going to be down at the Capitol Mall with Rhino, and all of us here at Fox Sports Sacramento will be at the Capitol Mall for the Capitol Beer Fest. What's that, Rhino? Sponsored by Elk Grove Chevrolet. See, that's why I have my wingman with me. Good job, Rhino. Good job. See, where would I be without my wingman? Right? Thank you very much for that. So, that is coming up on Saturday at the Capitol Mall. Come have fun with us. And the weather looks great. Really does. Looks outstanding. Maybe next year we can have that thing from about 3 to 7 so I can get out and play a little golf before it, okay? I got a 75-degree day, But no, I'm serious. I'm really looking forward to being down there and seeing everybody. So come on down and see us on Saturday. So we've got all of that. Olden Polonese is coming on with us at 4 o'clock. But when we come back, we will talk about what the nuances are with this new replay challenge system. How's it going to work? How Brian thinks it may work. That's all coming up right after this on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Welcome to Par 18 Golf, Northern California's premier TrackMan Golf Performance Center. If you love the game of golf, you're going to love Par 18 Golf. Par 18 Golf is where serious golfers go to elevate their game to an entirely new level. Par 18 Golf features Ultratech TrackMan practice bays. These are the very same golf simulator systems that PGA players use to perfect their game. TrackMan systems use Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that give you instant feedback on your swing. It analyzes distance, ball spin, face angle, and club path. It's how the world's very best players train, open for both private and group events, with memberships, leagues, and coaching available. It's for serious golfers who demand more from their game. Located inside the historic Nimbus Winery in Rancho Cordova. Open every day by reservation, rain or shine, day or night. Visit par18golf.com today and experience the future of golf performance.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Come on down and see us at Bennett's in Roseville. Eureka Road and Lead Hill Boulevard is the intersection. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. Brian's already got the delicious chocolate chip cookies out. There will be chips and dip. There will also be assorted sliders a little bit later. So come on out and see us at Bennett's in Roseville. In a moment, we are going to talk with Brian Knight, but Rhino, tell us about Prize Picks.
Yeah, come join me on America's #1 daily fantasy sports pick app. If you used the code Rhino50 yesterday and you used my Prize Picks, you got paid. It's super simple with Prize Picks. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections. Pick from all your favorite sports. Does not have to be basketball. It can be football. It can be college sports. It can be UFC. Here's my picks for today. I'm going Alex Caruso over half of a 3-point field goal made. I'm going Con Knipple more than 2.5 3-point field goals made. And I'm going Jonathan Kuminga more than 0.5 blocks and steals. So download the Prize Picks app and use the code RHINO, RYNO 50, and get $50 in free lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, RYNO 50, for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, good to be right.
Awesome. Brian Knight retired last year, MLB umpire. How many years in the bigs?
20 years in the big leagues, parts of 21.
Wow.
Or actually 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did actually 3 World Baseball Classics, yes?
I did in it was 2006. It was the first one. The major league umpires at that time were not going to go because of a contract thing. And so they had their top minor league umpires go. And so I had like 2 weeks notice to get my butt to Japan.
Wow.
And had to get a passport expedited and the whole deal. But it was a heck of an experience.
That experience over in Asia, and I know you were in Seoul, but it's unbelievable, isn't it? Isn't it incredible to see it?
Yeah. I mean, we had for a short of a time as I was there in Japan, we had a phenomenal time. And the culture there is so amazing. The people are so friendly. And they would gather around us just hoping to catch a glimpse of the American baseball people. And it was really, really neat. And
that lounge on the A380 was pretty good, huh?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the way to travel.
Back in my drinking days.
Yeah. And days that you didn't have to pay for your own ticket.
That's right. Yeah. I kind of miss those days.
All right. So there's going to be something different this year. A lot of the fans have seen it in spring training this year, and they saw it in the minors and this ABS system. So just give us the nuances of this system.
Well, it's something they've been working on for several years. I think they started testing this in the minor leagues maybe 3 or 4 years ago in the lower levels, and then they graduated it up to AA and AAA, and now it's made its way to the big leagues. They tested it last year for the major league umpires in spring training, and they've had enough time to work out a majority of the kinks, I think. And Major League Baseball is very smart with how they do this sort of stuff. They bring on board former pitchers like Joe Martinez, who pitched for the Giants, now works for the Office of the Commissioner, helping them design the system. They lean heavily on feedback from the umpire union because they're smart enough to know that they're smart people and they can figure the mechanics out, but the people that are actually doing it, you need their feedback, and they're real good about getting the feedback, and they've been doing that in the minor leagues and now in the major leagues and daily right now in spring training. I'm sure they're working through all sorts of stuff. So.
All right. So let's explain to the fans that aren't really aware of how this is going to work. The batter, the catcher, and the pitcher are the only 3, correct, that can ask for a challenge.
That's correct. Yep. The batter, the pitcher, and the catcher with no assistance from the dugout. It has to be immediate. They have to pat the top of their head. If they don't do that immediately, the challenge will not be accepted. And there's been times already this spring where the catcher turned around and said, "Hey, Brian, I want to challenge that pitch." He's got to tap his head too.
Do you believe that the majority of the challenges will come from the catcher who's got the best view?
I think 90% plus will come from the catcher defensively.
All right, we had a soundbite last week, or maybe earlier this week, from Chris Sale. And he was talking about, I'm letting the umpires do this. That's not my job. I think every pitch is a strike. I mean, he went on, and he was like, do you think pitchers will, you know the pitcher's mentality. You've been there. You've talked to many of them. You battled with them. What do you think the mindset of pitchers is going to be as it relates to this challenge system?
Well, they're going to have to put a lot of trust in their catchers, which they do anyways. They're going to have to control their emotions on the mound. We saw it the other day. I sent you the clip where the pitcher threw a pitch and right away he challenged. And the catcher was like, no, don't.
But it's too late.
But it's too late.
Right.
And the pitch was 4 inches outside. But the adrenaline of the moment and the emotion of the moment for the pitcher can sometimes overwhelm their decision making. And so the catchers have a better idea of how this is going to work, I think.
You get 2 challenges, but if you're right, they keep going. So it's not like the NBA where even if you're right after the set, you lose them. You're going to get 2 challenges. So you could technically, if you're right all the time, you could use them the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they add an extra challenge. Let's say you're out of challenges in extra innings. They'll give you another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not in the game anymore. How do you feel about this?
Oh, man. Well, You got an hour?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Okay, well, we can stretch this out then. Me personally, I'm glad I don't have to do it. It's so far removed from how I was trained and how I was brought up being an umpire. You got to remember, when I broke into the big leagues in 2001, there was very little controversy over balls and strikes back in those days. As a young umpire working in the big leagues, the teams educated you on the strike zone. You went a little too high, you heard from the dugout. You're like, oh, okay, they don't want that one. I'm not going to call it. You go a little too low, same thing. Hey, bring it up. Okay, this is how we were trained. Major League Baseball has a very hard time training umpires. It's one of those things where you have to have done it. You have to do it. It's all on the job, and there's no real good training program. So that's how I was trained. Feedback from the dugouts, essentially, and other umpires on the field, like Bruce Fremming, who recently passed away the other day. I got to work many games with him, and after the game, he'd say, "Hey, Junior, you got to bring it up a little bit. You got to bring it in a little bit, or you're doing just fine." And that's how we were trained. Now you fast forward to 2026, and the TV box, in years past, kind of slanted the way people viewed the strike zone. And technology has outpaced training, essentially, is what's happened. And there's very little appetite for imperfection in pro sports, as you know right now.
Yep. Brian Knight is with us here on Fox Sports Sacramento. 2 years ago, you were behind the plate for Game 5 of the World Series, and the World Series ended on a called third strike, which was like right on the black, but you got it right. That's a great way to end the World Series, and knowing full well that you nailed it, right? Because, you don't want to end the World Series with an incorrect call.
Yeah, that's the moment you think about your whole career, and then the moment appears, and are you ready to handle it properly? And thankfully I was. Now, having said that, with this new ABS system, I'm not so sure that's going to be a strike anymore. According to the people I'm talking to, the top of the zone is way different this year. They've measured each individual player.
Come on.
And it's 53% of their height, I believe.
Yeah, but what happens if you're in a crouch as a player and I don't understand how.
From what I understand, they're measuring these players standing straight up. So that adds a little bit of a wrinkle. So the top of the zone is going to be a very big challenge for the guys this year.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've already, I talk to the guys still, obviously. I'm still pretty close to a lot of the active umpires, and they're like, you can't call a high pitch a strike anymore. You just can't.
So you think it's going to change the game a little bit?
I think it's going to slow the game down.
Really?
Which is going to be real bad for what baseball's trying to do with the pitch clock and everything else. They want to get these games down around 2 hours and 30 minutes. I hope it doesn't creep up, but I got to think it's going to start creeping up a little bit.
What's the longest time you've ever been on the field? What's the longest time? We're talking about obviously extra innings. Which game sticks out? I
think the one that sticks out is a playoff game that the Giants were actually playing in back in 2012 or 13. I think it was 2012, and it was game 2 of the divisional series in Washington, D.C. And I think that game went 18 or 19 innings, and I believe it was pretty close to 6 hours. I think that's the longest one I was ever a part of.
Game 5 of the World Series, you're behind the plate. Is that the most, if I can use the word pressure, that's the pinnacle of an umpire's career when you get assigned to be behind the plate for a World Series? That is high status, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the most nervous you've ever been before a game?
By far, not even close.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And not only just like the day of the game, we find out about that assignment and the plate job 3 weeks before the World Series even starts. So
you don't brag, but I believe you only missed 3 pitches that game.
I had a pretty good game.
Yeah, no, you had a great game. Let's not call it the way it is.
By the standards of 2023, I had a good game. Now, if I were to go out there and have that same game today, who knows? I mean, I could have been overturned 5 or 6 times.
Let me send you my address so you can send me a check in the mail for that, complimenting you for only missing 3. That's great. What is the average, do you think, for a major league umpire in terms of correct balls and strikes?
So that stat is actually kept officially by Major League Baseball. It's not shared publicly.
Oh.
It is shared with us, and I'm out now, so I don't know what the current numbers are. My last year on the field, we were at 97.8%.
97.8% of accuracy.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. You know, fans think it's a lot lower.
Yeah.
And broadcasters think it's a lot lower. And I'm just curious, do you think they've been making those judgments over the last few years because of the box that is superimposed over the screen, which is not really a true indicator of whether it's a ball or a strike?
I think that's part of it. The box is not always 100% accurate.
Right.
And that's a big part of it. The other part of it is when we get officially graded, baseball takes into account catcher presentation. So they adjust if a catcher like flat
So
out
you're talking about
butchers,
framing?
like if he has to reach all the way across his body or down into the dirt.
Oh.
And it looks like a ball.
Yeah.
It's usually called a ball. And that goes back to how we were trained. Like I would never call a pitch a strike that the catcher, his glove touched the dirt, because both the dugout would burn down.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you call that pitch on Barry Bonds, you're national news for a day or two. And that's how you learned. Now that's out the window. So you're going to have pitches that look really terrible on TV that may even bounce, that caught a part of the zone, and when they're challenged, will be overturned to a strike.
Wow. Brian Knight talking about the perspective from an umpire's point of view. How different was your job from when you first started umping big league games to when you stopped as it relates to instant replay and the arguments and ejections that you had with particularly managers, right? Then all of a sudden replay comes in. They don't have to argue with you as much because you just go to the replay. Big difference, yes?
Huge difference. Many arguments on the bases early in my career from
testing you
a little bit. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, when I got into the big leagues, I was 26 years old and as green as the grass outside. I mean, so yeah, they're going to test you, see what your limits were. That's pretty much non-existent nowadays.
Who tested you the most?
Jim Leland.
Really?
Yeah. Jim Leland was always on me.
Really?
Always on me. And eventually he ended up working for Major League Baseball in the office.
Yep.
And I had my first playoff plate job in Cleveland in 2016, I believe it was. And it was the divisional series, and it was game one. And I walked off the field, and he was standing in the locker room with tears in his eyes and gave me a huge hug.
No kidding?
Yeah. It
Really?
was quite a moment. Yeah. But this was a guy that was testing me nonstop when I
Wow.
was, you know, a young umpire. It was a different era.
Who was the most vicious umpire to deal with, if I can use the term vicious? The guy that really would get into your face, and I'm talking really before replay. Any managers stick out, one more than the other?
Well, I would have to say there was a few.
Good thing you didn't work when Billy Martin was
Yeah,
managing.
there was nothing in my time that was ever quite like that. I'd say the
Or
closest.
Lou Piniella.
Yeah, Lou Piniella. But I never had that experience with him. I had a couple good ones with Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
Back in those days, and I love Bruce. He's great.
How was Dusty?
Dusty was always great. I'd never, me and Dusty always got along great. Yeah.
Everybody gets along with Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty's great. I love Dusty, but
Yeah.
he was pretty good to not that big of a deal, huh?
No. Dusty lets you do your job.
All right. How often did an umpire come out to you after you had ejected a player and said, "Hey, man, I know you got it right, but I had to come out to protect my player"?
You mean the manager? Would
Yeah,
come
the
out?
manager would come out and say, "Hey, man, you know what? He has to stick up for his player who was just thrown out, but kind of in passing says, I get it."
I'd say like 60% of the time.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
60% of the time.
Yeah, we all realize that we're in the entertainment business. We're all part of the show. We're essentially a TV show. And so that would happen a lot of times. The player, not so much. The player was truly mad. But,
Yeah.
I had that happen, like I said, many, many times.
How many times did you eject Bryce Harper from a game?
Only once.
Oh, only once.
Only once. Yeah, me and Bryce got along pretty good.
All right. And Aaron Judge is great, right? All the umps love him. He's
Love
pretty
Aaron,
respectful.
Yeah. Oh, very respectful. Yeah, no, and what a player. I mean, he always goes out of his way to say hello and tries to get to know us, and Mike Trout's that same kind of way. And, Bryce is like that too. He's a little more emotional when the game starts than some of these other guys.
And you know, it's people are people. They're different emotions, different everything, and some guys just like to complain all the time.
Well, I tell you what, that the one thing that people don't realize about our job as major league umpires, it's handling and controlling emotions on the field. People think anybody can go out there and call balls and strikes, get a play at first right or a steal play right. It's about how you handle the two dugouts, the 50 players in there that maybe they're having a bad week, maybe they're having a great week. There's just and this goes into my other thought about ABS. A lot of the anger and frustration in our game has been centered around balls and strikes.
Yes.
Ever since replay came along.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see where that anger and frustration is going to go now. It's got to go somewhere. It's not going to disappear. So I don't know if you're going to start seeing teams fighting, teammates getting into it with each other in the dugouts. Like, hey, why'd you challenge that pitch? You really cost us an opportunity there. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to go somewhere.
It has to, because you only get two challenges. And if you use them early and you're both wrong, I mean, then all of a sudden you're out of challenges the rest of the game.
I think you're going to see a lot of ejections over check swings this year.
Wow.
I think that'll be the vast majority of them.
All right, so somebody texted and said, in what way is the box not accurate?
Well, the box on TV on a typical broadcast doesn't change. You could have Jose Altuve batting, and the next inning Aaron Judge comes up. Well, you got a 2 feet height difference between those two, and the height of the box is not going to change. It's stationary. And it also measures from the very front of the plate, not the middle or the back.
Understand.
And there's shifts in cameras, and it's just not a perfect system. And that's not the system they're using for the ABS. They're using radar systems. So,
all right, stick around. I want to continue this conversation. Don't forget Olden Polynice is coming up at 4:00 as well. This is Grant Napear. Come on out and see us. Bennett's in Roseville. I'll be broadcasting until 6:00. So come on out and join us here from Bennett's. This is Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox.
Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news, because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, locally owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Back here at Bennett's in Roseville, doing the show, saying hello to everybody. Come on out and see us. Brian Knight, long career, MLB umpire, nice enough to spend a couple of segments with us. So, first base, second base, third base. If I told you, okay, I need you to umpire one game this week, which bag are you taking?
100% second base.
Easiest?
Not the easiest necessarily, but the least likely to get creamed by a line drive.
Is that right?
And no check swings at second base.
Oh, see, the check swings, is that the hardest thing an umpire has to do?
It's up there. It's up there in the top 2 or 3, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
well, think about it. A World Series ended with the Giants on a check swing, and the umpire that made the incorrect call got crucified.
Hey, you're talking about it was a divisional series.
With
I'm
the
sorry. Dodgers,
and
yeah.
it cost it ended the game.
Yep.
And that umpire, I forget his name.
Gabe Morales.
It was awful for him.
I worked with Gabe that year. Gabe's a great guy. He's a Bay Area guy.
That's right.
And that was devastating for him. I mean, he wouldn't leave his house for a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't think fans understand that. Umpires, officials, they don't want to influence the outcome of the game with an incorrect call. That is the worst part of your profession, is it not?
It is, 100%, not even close. And that's why I felt so bad earlier this spring when, the kid, I'll call him a kid because I've never met him and he's got to be young, working his first major league plate job in spring training, gets overturned by ABS 5 times, and it becomes a viral thing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, my first big league spring training in 2001, if I screwed up a pitch, like 20 people knew about it. And in 2026, the whole world knows about it 5 minutes later. And that I just feel terrible. You could see the confidence of that kid just evaporate right in front of my eyes.
Here's the other aspect of the era as an official. Now you have the advent of legalized gambling, which, I mean, on top of all your other responsibilities, not that you can worry about that, but you got fans who are going to yell at you anyway. Now they're yelling at you, accusing you of taking money out of their pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's big business right now. I mean, it's advertised everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't watch a Major League Baseball game without seeing an ad for DraftKings.
No, you can't.
And I think, honestly, I think that's a big reason why ABS is in place. I think it's a way to protect them in the world of gambling where they're getting billions of dollars from these online gambling companies.
Worst part of being an umpire?
The worst part, it's hard to nail down a worst part.
How about getting hit in the head with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball?
Yeah, getting smoked in the head or chest or collarbone or wrist or, I broke my ankle once. I broke my big toe once. I got hit in the head many times.
I think everybody here would know that. You wouldn't have to tell them. How did you break your ankle?
I got hit with a line drive that skidded off the mound while I was working second base. So much for being the safe base, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that was in Anaheim. It skipped off the right side of the mound, and picked up steam after it did that, and I had no chance to get out of the way.
Whoa.
I tried to jump, and I turned, and it hit that outside of my ankle.
I remember the 9th inning at a game that you were doing in Washington. I had only known you for a short period of time, and a fastball came in the high 90s, and he crossed up the catcher, and the ball hit you square in the mask, and it knocked you off your feet onto the ground.
Yes. That was right after I met, or right after. Yeah, right after.
Right. And you had a concussion, obviously, from that.
Yeah.
And I don't think you worked for like 10 days after that, but you got knocked off your feet. That's the velocity of that pitch onto the ground.
I think that was probably one of maybe 10 or 12 diagnosed concussions I sustained during my career. And so, yes, that is the worst part of the job. As you get older, too, those are a little harder to deal with. When I was in my 20s and 30s, you kind of brush it off a little more than you do in your 40s and 50s. And obviously, I had to take a little bit of an early retirement due to issues in my neck because of the whiplashes from getting hit so much. So
the other aspect of your job, which I think 95% of baseball fans are completely unaware of, and I was one of them until I met you, is the synchronization that goes on with the crew on, let's say, depending on where the ball is hit, and the fact that you guys actually rotate on the field, so you can be behind home plate and end up at third base to make a call or what have you. I just find that stuff to be fascinating because I never used to look at it before. So let's say there's a ball that is hit deep to left center, and you got the second base umpire running out there to give it a look, right? Well, once the runner goes past first, who's going to be the umpire to covering second if the second base umpire is in the field? The way you guys move on the field, again, I had never noticed that before. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a dance. I mean, and
it is a dance.
We're a third team. We're the third team on the field, and we have the same kind of protocols that the teams have as far as communicating with each other and eye contact and always thinking ahead about what could happen. So you're always prepared. It's like the third baseman thinking the ball's coming to him every time. At third base, you're always ready for the check swing.
Yeah.
You're always ready to go to second base if the second base umpire goes out on a fly ball. And so, yeah, for people that don't really think about umpiring, if you're at a A's game this summer, I challenge you to watch the umpire crew for a couple innings.
It's amazing.
And it is really neat. And
so we have replay in sports, and you just said that probably the check swing is the most difficult aspect of the game to call. How do we not have replay for that? I mean, if it's so difficult, why do you think there's not technology for that?
I think there is. I think they're working on it.
Okay.
I don't know this for a fact, but I know last year when I was still working, they were developing a system for replay for check swings. And I don't know how they're going to do it. They're going to have to pick a boundary, I guess. In the rule book, a check swing is, did he attempt to hit the ball? Well, that's very gray.
Right.
And that leaves a lot up to interpretation. For me, I always watch the barrel of the bat, and if I thought it went past the front edge of the plate,
it's a strike.
I was going to get him. But I think they're going to come up with a way that is even less far than that, for lack of a better term, like maybe halfway across the plate. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, and I'm glad I'm not in charge of helping them figure it out, because
doing a Sunday night game on Sunday Night Baseball in New York, and then being behind the plate, and then ending up at third base the next day in San Francisco. Those cross-country trips after that can get a little challenging, huh? When you're having that type of a schedule, if the game goes long, goes to extra innings, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, thankfully that doesn't happen too often. Usually they keep you pretty close to the region you're in for 2 or 3 weeks, but there is occasional trips like that.
Oh, yes, there are.
2 or 3 times a season you're on a red eye after a game in Oakland, and you have a game in Yankee Stadium the next night. And,
yeah.
You land at 8 in the morning. Yeah, it's just the grind of travel. You know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the same boat as me. You got hit in the head less.
Yeah, that's very true. Much less.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I didn't break my ankle announcing a game.
And you were also staying at nicer hotels than me.
Yes, we were. Absolutely. Correct. But I didn't get my miles from flying like you did.
Fair point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a trade-off.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's all good. Brian Knight joining us, talking about his career, Major League Baseball, and the ASB system, and how that may impact baseball this year. So you think we're going to see some ruffled feathers in the dugout and some instances with this, huh? You could see this creating some problems.
I think so. I think the teams are going to have to really talk to each other about, all right, if I was a manager of a team, I would say, listen, you're not going to be able to take it out on the umpire anymore. We don't want you taking it out on each other. So we got to figure out where all this emotion is going to go. If you have to go back into the clubhouse and break a Gatorade cooler, then do that. But let's try to keep it out of the public eye. I'm just guessing here, and I don't have a crystal ball, but I got to think there's going to be some situations where things that we haven't seen in baseball before necessarily happen this year due to that.
I don't want you to speak for all umpires, but when the pitch clock came in, do you believe that the majority of umpires were very happy with that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You have to remember that 2 or 3 years leading up to that, we were averaging almost 3 hours and 20 minutes a game. And almost immediately it dropped to 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's one of those things where they had to legislate it finally. They had to do something because the players were stepping out of the box. The catchers were going to talk to the pitchers so much. You probably saw the video where in 2021 or whatever, in the playoff game, the pitcher took like 4 minutes to complete one at bat.
Right.
And compare that to how it was the next year. It's staggering and made a huge difference in the pace of the games. And I'm afraid ABS is going to slow that down a little bit.
All right. I don't want to say the hardest part about your job, but the most dicey part, a visit on the mound, you go out there and you know that the manager's just waiting to bark at you because of a call you made. And you're out there like, what's that like when you know you're walking out to the mound and you know that he's going to get into it with you?
It's kind of exciting, actually. Thankfully, that situation only happened to me a few times. But, yeah, I mean, you see it coming. You're paying attention. You know people are mad at you.
Yeah.
And I'm not somebody that likes when people are mad at me, which is probably not a good quality to have in an umpire. But I was always very sensitive to the fact when somebody was mad at me. But in the adrenaline of the moment, it happened at Wrigley Field once. It was the pitching coach for the Pirates. And I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But I also knew I was right.
Yeah. Well, that helps too.
So,
hey, that's great. I do love that. Hey, real quickly, I want to talk to you about DAS Mechanical, and you talk about giving back to the community. Nick Delancey, the owner of DAS Mechanical Heating and Air, they are going to give away. That's right. They are donating a heating or air conditioning unit with installation. So if that is something you need, or somebody you know, or how about a veteran, right? All you need to do is go to dasmechanical.org, go to their website, click on the 2026 HVAC donation. It's very simple. It will not take you long. You just fill out the form, and then maybe you will have a new heating or air system installed from DAS Mechanical, serving Sacramento and Placer counties, family owned. They are awesome. That's dasmechanical.org. And again, great job by them to donate a heating or air conditioning unit with installation. Again, that is dasmechanical.org. You got Brian Bennett, who's coming out with sliders, and he's now the most popular guy in the room. No more Napear, no more Knight. It's Brian Bennett, who's the most popular guy in the room.
You're hoping he brings you some redfish.
Well, I had redfish here yesterday for lunch.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
How about the mushroom soup?
I had that today for lunch. They had the mushroom soup today, and I ordered. You know what? You want some mushroom soup? You're done, so you can now have it.
Yeah, maybe I will take some.
It's the best. The mushroom soup here is the best.
Yeah, this place is great.
I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, man. Thank you.
Yeah, great being with you.
It was great.
It's fun to watch you work up close and personal.
It was great. And I'm happy you have your World Series ring on, which you gave me one, and I am greatly appreciative of it, but I'm not wearing it today, but I do wear it from time to time.
I noticed that you weren't wearing it.
Well, I'm sorry. I forgot to take it with me. But what can I tell you? But I do have it, and I do wear it from time to time.
Well, you've been
I wish it had said Yankees on it instead of the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, but I can't be that picky. You know what I mean?
You were a big supporter of mine when I was at the point of my career where I was trying to get a World Series, and
yeah, it was great.
It will always be appreciated.
So. Well, I appreciate that. I've met some phenomenal people because of you in the world of baseball with other umpires, and I really will watch baseball now if I have one of those guys behind the plate to see how they're doing. because I don't really like the game the way it's played anymore. I got to be honest with you.
No, I can't disagree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you got out at a good time.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm very happy.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Hey, that's good stuff from Brian Knight, former MLB umpire, educating us a little bit on the automated strike and ball system, ABS, sorry, automated balls and strikes. See, I got it wrong already.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be.
You need replay for your.
Yeah, I need replay for my show.
Yeah.
We do replay the first hour at 6 o'clock. I'll have them edit that out. All right, Olden Polynice next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
There's a great American pastime that the entire family can enjoy together, located right outside of Sacramento. The Golden State Shooting Center welcomes you. The Golden State Shooting Center is an 80-acre clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous youth sport shooting teams from the region. Over 1,000 high school students from Northern California are on sports shooting teams, and 10 of the Western United States' top shooting teams train at Golden State Shooting Center. New members are being accepted now. For details, visit goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrude's does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrude's, expert, 5-star service, and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrudes.com.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Trouble sleeping, your mind racing. So what do? We get help. There are people in our community who are here for us. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now, because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Back here live at Bennett's in Roseville. We'll be here till 6 o'clock. Come on out and see us. Got the cookies, the sliders. Everybody's happy out here. Come and see us out here at Bennett's in Roseville. My thanks to Brian Knight, former MLB umpire, retired last year, talking about the nuances of this new challenge system. We're going to talk NBA right now each and every Wednesday. Former Sacramento King, former NBA player, a lengthy career, Olden Polynice. OP, how are you? OP. I can't hear OP. I know he's there. OP. Hello. All right, we'll put him on hold. Ryan, you let me know what the deal is if he's talking and I can't hear him or he's not on yet. So we'll do that.
Here.
All right, there you are. OP, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Oh, nothing much, Grant. I'm good.
Good. All right, so I think the marquee game tonight, the one game, of course, is going to be starting at MSG with the Knicks and the Thunder. Your thoughts on this matchup? I mean, I'm not really sold on the Knicks. They've been inconsistent, but after the hot start that the Thunder had, so have they. What do you think about this matchup tonight?
I mean, it's a great matchup. I mean, the game that was really significant was just the other day with the Spurs and the Knicks. They finally went back to their style of play, which is a Mike Brown staple, which is defense. You know, they lock down everybody, and it's a tough cover for San Antonio, you know, especially with Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson because of their size and girth. But, you know, they've struggled a little bit. I think after the play-in tournament, it was just I think everybody when they win in the play-in, bad things happen. So, but on the flip side with Oklahoma City, it's just the injuries. You know, I thought at first it was going to be the championship hangover, but it hasn't really been the hangover as much as it's been the injuries to all their key guys. I think they've only played like maybe a handful of games together. So it's tough to play, you know, but now they're starting to get guys back. But I will say this. San Antonio really gave us a blueprint on how to defeat Oklahoma City.
Boy, they sure did. They've won 4 or 5 times this year.
Yes, they have. Yeah. And, you know, when you see it, if teams – but the problem is not all 30 teams have those kind of players that could defend OKC with the length, you know, and size.
OP, what do you make of Karl Anthony Towns with the Knicks and the coaching change from Tibbs to Mike Brown? And he's been maligned a lot in the New York tabloids, slow start, system, blah, blah, blah. Where's Karl Anthony Towns right now in terms of March and his development under Mike Brown? We know he's a very good player, but yeah, we haven't really seen it this year the way you would expect from a guy like that.
Yeah, so I'll say this. One of the things people need to remember, this is a number 1 pick. You know, former number 1 pick. So the talent is there. He's a hell of a player. And also, with that being said, the New York market is one of the roughest. You're not going to come in there thinking it's going to be, you know, peaches and cream. It's rough. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they're going to let you know, whether it's at MSG or in the streets of New York. They will boo you at MSG. They will call you names on the streets. So I wondered about that, especially with his disposition. You know, he seems to be a really cool, laid-back kind of guy. And sometimes people can take that the wrong way as not caring. But I think he does care. I think he's a very talented guy. But the main problem for the Knicks between Karl Anthony Towns, with Karl Anthony Towns rather, is the combination of him and Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
Because it's almost like they butt heads. Because they both want the ball, they both want to be the man, and it's an issue. You know, it really is. You know, Jalen likes to be inside, which means that Karl Anthony half the time has to come outside. You know, because if he stays in there, it clogs it up. So it's a tough situation for them right now.
Boy, it sure is. Holden Polynice joining us right here on the Grant Napear Show on Fox Sports Sacramento. We talked last week about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they blew away the game. I mean, they just gave the game away in Detroit the other night, and then they bounced back and won last night. And I asked you last week where you think they fit in with the Knicks, the Pistons, and the Celtics. And if I'm not mistaken, you weren't crazy about them. Have you seen anything since then that has changed your mind?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean,
and is that because of Harden in the postseason and his failures in the postseason, or is it deeper than that?
Of course it is. It's just that. I just don't trust in it. You know, because see, certain guys, you got to have the right man. I don't believe that Kenny Atkinson is going to pressure James Harden or push him into playing a different kind of way, because James Harden's going to do what he wants to do. And also with Cleveland, I don't like the combination of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen together. They clog a lot up because Evan's not really a great three-point shooter. Jared definitely isn't a three-point shooter. He needs to maneuver inside. And I believe that's where Evan Mobley is strongest also. So it's like whatever style Atkinson's running, he needs to switch it up to be more beneficial to the players that he has. But, you know, Donovan is going to be Donovan because when push comes to shove, he's just going to come down and start raining jumpers, whether they go in or not, whether they're good shots or bad shots. And so I think that's going to be the problem for them.
Can you talk to the fans and put into perspective what it's like being on a really bad team when the finish line is in sight and you can't wait to get the heck out of town, and in all likelihood, you know the coach is going to be gone and the vets are like done and it's just a mess, which is really what the Sacramento Kings are going through right now. Walk me through that. You've been in good situations, you've been in bad situations. What's the bad situation like?
So I'll give you two different versions. One, when I was with the Clippers, everybody know they were perennial losers.
Yeah.
And one of the things about the NBA is this: you never want to be in the middle. You either have to be real bad or real good. The middle is the place you never want to be. So with that being said, with being with the Clippers, it was like these guys were making vacation reservations in freaking February. You know?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Which is insane to me. They were literally booking flights and resorts and all that in February after the All-Star break. And so me being the person that I am, it rubbed me the wrong way. But you can always see the defeated attitude in everybody's face. And I was like, oh, my God, I need to look out for myself or else they're going to drive me crazy with this attitude. And the second part is also happened with the Sacramento Kings. When Eddie Jordan was the coach.
Oh, boy.
And I knew, you know, we all knew Eddie was gone.
Yep.
You know, because I specifically remember getting benched for Yogi Stewart, you know, and I'm like leading rebounder. And it's like, why am I sitting down? And so it was like, and I specifically remember saying to Eddie Jordan, they're going to fire you anyway. You might as well bust the system and not do what they ask you to do by sitting.
Oh, my God. I love Eddie. Eddie was one of my favorites, but I felt so bad for him because he was in an impossible situation, dead man walking, you know?
Lame duck. Yep. Lame duck, dead man walking. Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Yeah. So in a nutshell, it's miserable, isn't it? It's miserable to be in that
really
situation.
Is.
Yeah.
And, you know, and sometimes people would think that, oh, you know, you guys are making money and all that. No, because at the end of the day, we're competitors. We want to compete, you know, and especially back then.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they don't compete now, but I just don't believe it's at the same level anymore.
Yeah, and fans forget that you're human beings and you have emotions and you're happy and mad and content and discontent just like other people. And yes, I can't relate to the money that Zach LaVine's making right now at nearly $50 million a year. Either can you, but you can relate to having a professional contract. But again, that doesn't erase the human emotions and the feelings and the misery that goes in being in a bad locker room. I mean, it just doesn't.
You absolutely right.
It would help me, though. It would help me. I got to tell you, I wish I could find out what that would feel like, but still, it doesn't. Well, it's the truth, right?
Oh, you are absolutely right.
Yeah. Jonathan Kuminga, it looks like a change of scenery has done him real well. Now, it's not a big sample size, but in the games that he's played for the Atlanta Hawks, he looks great. What do you think?
I've always liked Kuminga. I thought, you know, again, it's a situation where the Warriors really did this guy a disservice. And granted, you know, it's like, hey, you know, he may not remember all the plays, but guess what? It's your job as an organization, as a coaching staff. And I've been saying this for many years now. I look on every NBA team bench and I see 1,000 assistant coaches. One of y'all can't help him with plays. One of y'all can't develop this young man. So it's absurd to me that there's always the narrative that it's always the play and everything else, but it's your organization. You're supposed to make sure every accommodation, everything is done to make your players succeed. And now that he's with Atlanta, I mean, he's looking really good. You're right. It's a small sample size, but the kid is a talent. We've seen it in bunches in Golden State. It was just unfortunate that they turned it into what it became.
OP, you played in a Final Four before in college basketball, and I know you're covering the NBA predominantly, but do you still watch college basketball?
I watch all basketball.
Really? All right. So talk to me
Yes.
about Duke, Arizona, Michigan, UConn. I'm going to throw Florida in there. Your alma mater is ranked 13th in the country. In your opinion, and again, I know that we're still 2 weeks away from the tournament. We've got the conference tournaments that are going to be starting before we know it. How many teams currently in the NCAA do you think are capable of winning a championship?
64.
64? Okay.
That's the beauty.
I'll take you up on those odds.
That's the beauty of the tournament. It is the greatest thing ever conceived because on any given night, you can be the favorite. That's why we have the Cinderellas. Because there's always, we know this, they do the brackets, right? And every year we have upsets because you can't quantify any of this stuff. Logic goes out the window with the tournament.
Yeah.
You could be the number one team and go down. Virginia, they've had the greatest ever of losing to what it was at Maryland Eastern Shore and then coming back and winning the championship, as number one. So it's like the most absurd thing. That's why I love the tournament. It keeps everybody on their toes. I like Duke. I believe, they got a ton of NBA talent there. Arizona, of course, started number one, and all of a sudden they went through a little lull. But Michigan State will always be somewhere in the mix because of Tom Izzo. Always, it's going to be in the mix.
All right.
And then there's all those, outlier teams. But yeah, man, it's going to be a fun time. Because it's one and done. That's the beauty of it.
I understand. You've been through it. You lived it. You know what that's like. Two-part question here, and I know it's bold prediction on March 4th before we get to the tournaments. Who do you think is going to be the number one pick in the draft? And if you were a general manager, who would you take?
Okay, so I know there's been a lot of chatter about Darren Peterson.
Yes, there has.
And it's unfortunate. This is a generational talent guy. I mean, you watch him play. So I'll explain it this way, between he and A.J. DeBanco.
Okay.
A.J. DeBanco works hard to get his points. Darren Peterson doesn't. And to me, that's the key right there. A.J. has to really grind to get his points and everything else. Darren Peterson is so casual, and I think people are misreading that. I get it about him, subbing himself out of games. He's had some cramping issues. I remember Cooper Flagg when he was at Duke, he was having cramping issues. So again, maybe it's your medical staff. Maybe it's something that, that he's doing wrong as far as diet or anything like that. But I'm not passing up. The only knock I would say is that it's rare that a 6'4" guy goes number one, as far as the long-term potential. But he is a talent. So it's going to be tough. So I think they're going to pretty much ding him for some of the stuff that's been happening at Kansas.
So how do you gauge a young player with the nil money, the millions of dollars that our college athletes are getting in terms of whether they extend themselves, if they have an injury or what have you? So Peterson has been under the microscope, and there's been a lot of people like yourself that have played the game before that are not worried about it, but there were just as many that are worried about it. I call them red flags. So you don't see the red flags being an issue is what you're telling me.
Come on now.
Well, no,
There's
hey,
no
listen,
red flag.
I've seen it. Listen, OP, you've seen it. I've seen it. There are players that come into the league that have a sense of entitlement. And you know what? Their careers are stunted or ruined because of that.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. But I don't believe there's a red flag on Darren Peterson.
Okay.
Per se. It's like they can create a red flag, but I don't think it's a red flag. You still got to remember, this is a young kid. He's 18. Okay? So, young people make mistakes. Young people make,
Yes.
You brought up the NIL. I'm getting millions now, and people got to understand something with NIL.
Yep.
They've just confirmed that these guys are professionals, okay? So they're just going to be leaving one professional job for another professional job.
Yeah.
And so to me, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. I would just say, it might be a concern moving forward. But you look around the NBA now, I mean, they got a bunch of guys that are red flag-ish. Draymond Green, as an example.
Yeah, I
we've been
understand.
seeing it.
Sure.
And so, I think there's just a concern. But my concern with Darren Peterson would be more on a physical aspect, health aspect, not like his attitude or anything like that. And that's why I think the problem is being created by people. They're trying to say that he's a bad kid and all that. And that's the part I don't like, because none of these people really know this young man.
Yeah. How do you project Cam Boozer's NBA career to be?
Maybe his dad. I see him a little bit, a bigger version of his dad, but I don't.
Wow.
I mean, it's weird, because he's going to end up being an undersized 4. And so guys are going to just be way bigger than him at that position if that's the position they put him at. He's not good enough to be the 3. He doesn't shoot well enough. So he's going to be an undersized 4.
All right. What you talk about, DeBancy, you talked about how he has to work to get a shot. Not a great 3-point shooter, but I don't know if that would bother me. There are a lot of people that think he will go number 1 in the draft. Would you have a problem if he ended up on your team if you were a coach?
No, not at all. And I'll tell you this, there's a reason why Cooper Flagg left a year early. He did not want to come out this draft.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
It really is a loaded draft. And Cooper made a business decision, which was a great decision for him. And so, yeah, it's not, you can pick a bunch of guys number 1 and you'll be okay, as a general manager. And so that's why I think a lot of times, especially with a draft like this, it's going to be more like, okay, who's the guy that I really want to build around? I'm going to have options this year. Do I want to go with a Darren Peterson? Does he fit my style of play or whoever my coach is? Or do I want to go with the Bancer? Do I want to go with, you could even say, Boozer could be number 1. So It doesn't matter. It's like, where am I projecting my team 5 years from now?
I'm curious, in your experience and being in a lot of different situations, how long did it take you when a rookie came into your training camp before you said, we've got something here, or, boy, I think they took the wrong person?
Oh, you see it right away.
Really? Right away?
It happens right away. Oh, yeah. I remember Gary Payton coming in. Oh, yeah. We knew, even with the talking and everything else, but we knew he was special. Yeah, Sean Kemp knew he was special. And so, yeah, when they're good, you see it right away. And that's the thing. Basketball, one of the things I say to people is this. It doesn't take us long to see talent. It really doesn't. Now, if you develop the talent or not develop, that's something totally different. And I think we talked about that. It's like, if guys get drafted by different teams, do they become the player that they are? Like, if Luka goes to Sacramento, does he become Luka? And
that's
so
a great
those are
point.
the things you got to worry about and wonder.
Yeah. Did Gary, I know you don't know this because you didn't sleep with the guy, but I think Gary Payton would probably talk in his sleep. Did the guy ever shut up? Did he ever stop talking?
I know he talks in his sleep because he was doing it on busting on the plane.
You would not want to sit next to him on the plane, would you? I mean, good Lord.
That man talked 24/7. It didn't matter. He talked while he was eating. He talked while he was sleeping. It didn't matter with him.
OP, that series that you had against them when you were with the Kings, Mitch guarding Peyton until he sprained his ankle, that was great basketball. The intensity, we've talked about Game 3 at Arco. I've never experienced anything like that, and I've been in a lot of great sport environments, but when you guys came onto the floor for that Game 3 in the 95-96 season, I got chills. I'll never forget that. To me, it was the most amazing moment that I've experienced at Arco Arena.
It was. Two things happened. I had gotten hurt Game 2, and so I had a big old knot in my thigh. I was like, am I really going to play? It was a deep bone bruise. When I heard those fans, and it's almost like you could taste and chew the atmosphere.
Yep.
It was thick, foggy, and everything else. I forgot about my leg. I completely forgot about it. I couldn't feel the pain. I was so energized to the point where I almost passed out. I was hyperventilating. It was insane, dude. It was insane.
And I'll tell you, both games 3 and 4 were very close. That Game 3 was up for grabs with a couple of minutes left. And you got to remember, the year before, and this was a best of 5, not best of 7. The year before, the Supersonics were also the number 1 seed, and Dikembe and the Nuggets beat them, if you remember, to upset them, an 8 beating a 1 that was unheard of. So they had a lot going for them in terms of the mental aspect. Had you guys won game 3, boy, oh boy, that would have been something.
It would have been amazing, man. And I thought we were going to win it too. But,
I did too.
It is what it is. But it was so fun, though.
Yeah.
Fun
OP,
times.
you're the best, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. You have a good afternoon.
You too, Grant.
Good stuff from Olden Polonies. You know what I love about OP, man? There's no sugarcoating. He tells you exactly what he thinks, and he doesn't worry about what you think or what I think. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. It's interesting to talk about the Cam Boozer, because Scott Pollard thinks he's going to be great. And he said, I would take him. I'd have no problem having him. And OP was kind of like, well, so that's always interesting to talk about that. We'll come back. Your phone calls at 916-779-0929. We are at Bennett's in Roseville. Come on and say hello to us. Come on down. Brian's been walking around handing out sliders. We got cookies. We've got other things going on. That's right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Some call it overplanning. At Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator system. When the power goes out, your Generac system kicks in, so you've always got power no matter what. Upgrade your home with a Generac home standby generator system professionally installed by the energy pros at Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Grant Napear for Village Financial Group. I have known broker-owner Spencer Grimmenstein for 25 years, ever since he began his family-owned business. Whether it's a home equity line of credit or buying or selling a home, Spencer is a very creative financing specialist with access to private money. Check out Village Financial Group at bfgloans.com or call Spencer at 916-805-4868. Be sure and call for the investor special. And if you go to their website, bfgloans.com, you can find over 9,000 properties available for purchase. Folks, Spencer is awesome. Trust me. Again, I've known the guy since 2000. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Call 916-805-4868.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Oh, great. All right, we're going to get to some phone calls, 916-779-0929. And we say hello to Stan in Southern California. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, doing fine, Grant. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well. Thanks for calling.
Good. I've been listening to you guys ever since you came back to Sacramento. Anyway, I wanted to tell you this here. I've been wanting to tell you this for years.
Thank you. Yep.
I've been a Kings fan since '89. I remember, Grant, when I had a good friend of mine that used to work for the Sacramento Bee, and I remember when you got hired and you were in the B suite. I was a little buzzed, but be that it may, I remember that day, when you got hired, and I would always come I'm gonna move forward on this here. Since I've been out here in Southern California,
right,
my home, I would always see all the time at the Kings at the crib, Staples, the Kings and the Lakers, Kings and the Clippers, because I would always sit in my same seat, section 106, row C, which is right by the Kings bench, at the crib now, as they call it. But the same seat, I would see you, and I would always want to say something, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. You get busy, you're working, and there's just things happen, But anyway, I remember back in it was that three game series in Sacramento against the Seattle Sonics. That was, to me, the best playoff game ever in my life.
That was amazing.
It was amazing. I mean, You could not. I remember from the very first time when the players came out, even before the players came out.
Yep.
The crowd was so amped and ramped, and we clapped and we clapped and we clapped. Even when Mitch hurt his foot, we still hung in there. And I just kind of miss those days.
I know that was an amazing period of time. That playoff series in particular, that was spectacular. It was great. Plain and simple, it was great. No other way to say it. Yep. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you calling the show. Anything else? Go ahead.
For sure,
I'm not rushing you. You take if you want to talk about something else, go ahead.
Well, okay. One more thing. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news. You know what I mean? I try to hang in with this team. I remember back in the day, we'd go to the games at Arco, those rainy days.
Yeah.
We'd all go out there and just go to the game. And even though the team wasn't as talented, we always would just, root for this team and try to back this team. And, we had a lot of things to be proud about. But now it's like a whole different era. And it's more or less like it's, I want to still root for the team. I've been buying the NBA pass since I've been here in Southern California, and I backed the team up. But it's really, really hard, right now, to really, really back the team based on what's going on. I
got you. Hey, that's why you see so many empty seats at the games now. I get you. You're in the norm. You're not the exception. Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Grant. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you. Call again. Appreciate that very much. Let's move on to Mac. Mac, you're on with Grant Napear. How are you, Mac?
Hey, I'm doing well. I didn't get to call. You were talking baseball early yesterday in your first segment, and I was in meetings. I wanted to call you. I wanted to make a comment and then ask a question. First of all, about the World Baseball Classic, I really think that Major League Baseball needs to move it to an in-season tournament because you're going to have guys like Logan Webb, and he is a workhorse as a pitcher, and he's a great competitor. But it's March, and so his pitch count is going to be about 80. So he can't go throw to 100 because you got to work up to that. And he's not revved up. And so that's one thing that I
don't see how you could have a mid-season. I don't think that's possible. I don't think you could possibly have a mid-season tournament because the season's 162 games long. There's no way you could have a mid-season baseball tournament that goes on as long as the World Baseball Classic. You don't have enough time in the calendar. You can't be playing games in the snow in November.
True. But it's just, for me, it's a downfall to not be able to see guys like that be limited to 80 pitches because they're not worked up.
Take it for what it is. Yeah,
that's true. Second of all, I agree with you. I'm a baseball purist like you. I hate when I watch a guy be okay with with a guy on third with a strikeout. And you see that so often. I mean, look, they changed the rules because guys were refusing to go opposite field. You look at a guy like Brandon Belt. He could have been the 300 hitter if he chose to go oppo field. I mean, the game has gotten so ridiculous. And I have to tell you, I enjoy college baseball a lot more because I see gap hitters and stuff like that. And that brings me to my question to you right now. We see currently, we don't see a value at positions like, for example, first base, guys who could really play a good first base. And seeing a guy like JT Snow, he only hit 20 home runs, and it was a low 20s 3 times in his career. Do you think he would have been a consistent starter and even a couple-time All-Star in this day and age? With the way that first basemen are, yeah, I don't either. And it's a shame because I thought he was great at his position.
Well, it's
anyway,
an interesting question. All right, Matt.
That's all. Have a great day.
I mean, the game is different. The Rod Caruso of the world and players like that. I mean, the moving runners 90 feet, sacrifice bunts, trying to get on and having a stolen base, like the running game, putting pressure on the defense, right? I mean, if Ricky Henderson got on first, he was going to end up on third. Now, I know that he's not a great example because he was the best to ever do it. But you know what? The game is so different now. What's the game about now? Hitting the ball out of the yard, right? And what is the game about when you watch it, which I can't stand? Why would I care how fast the ball is leaving the bat? I don't care. Like, what does that mean to me that the ball was hit at 100 miles an hour off the bat? I don't care. Like, who cares? What difference? Did the ball go out of the ballpark, or did it land in the outfield so that the runner from second was able to score, or third? I don't care how fast the ball is going.
Grant,
like,
I
don't get that.
You don't care how fast the ball's going, but all of the kids that are specializing in baseball and pitching, those are the things that they're looking at every day at training. So that is targeted at them.
Yeah, you know what's weird about that? I don't see kids playing baseball in America the way I used to. That's why the game is suffering. I don't see that. You talk about all the kids playing baseball. Where are all those kids playing baseball? I don't see it the way I used to. That's why I think baseball has got an issue. Now, I understand that does appeal to the younger generation. I would agree with you. But, I mean, it's absurd. All right, the way the game is played in the minors is so different than the way it used to be. Pitchers that, now are expected to go 5 innings, and if they do, they hand the ball to the manager and get off the field, right? I mean, we can talk about all these aspects of baseball, the launch angle. I've heard Will Clark talk about this with Eric Burns on their podcast that they do on the No Filter Network. And Will just destroys these guys with their approach at the plate and how bad it is. And we can go on and on. It's just, you know what? In a nutshell, I'll tell you what, Ryan, and I know I'm an older individual and I've watched baseball since I was a little kid. It's turned me off. It's like, enough. I don't need it. It's turned me off.
Would that be true of other sports? For instance, the Kings right now, they're doing, I don't want to call it analytics, but enhanced graphics during the broadcast where it's almost like NBA 2K, where it circles the player and you see their name and you've seen shot charts. Is that sport-wide or just a baseball purist kind of thing?
I have not watched a Kings telecast since 2020, and it was when I was on the monitor in front of me, so I can't comment on that. When I watched the Kings, I watched the opposing broadcast, so I can't really comment on the graphics and what they're doing. But I think in this particular instance, more is not better.
Yeah.
And the more crap you put on the screen, it really impacts the enjoyment of the game. Now, there are exceptions, all right, such as golf. I think the golf with the line of the ball, which you can't see, obviously, when a player is on the tee, I think that the graphics with the laser, the line from a TV aspect really enhances the game. Whereas in hockey, when they tried to have the puck glow, it was awful. It was terrible. So certain things work, certain things don't work, right? Like if I'm watching basketball, I don't need things highlighted on my TV screen. The basketball court is 94 feet long. It's not a fast-moving game. I don't need to have people tell me via a graphic who's on the court and who's doing what. I can see that. Golf's different. You can't see the ball with a player driving a ball 350 yards. The laser, the being able to follow the ball, I think is a great innovation that's really helped out golf viewers.
And this is where it becomes a little bit subjective, because I know Jerry Reynolds is in the same category as me. I enjoyed being able to track the puck with the laser because I wasn't good enough at understanding the sport and fast enough to track it at that point. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
I hated it. I think it's terrible.
Well,
It was really a turnoff to me. I just thought, and obviously there were so many people that complained because they stopped doing it after a short period of time.
It's one of those things that the casuals will enjoy, but the purists and the people that understand the sports will be annoyed by it. It's almost insulting your intelligence. And by the way, you can't bring up Ricky Henderson without doing a Ricky impersonation.
Oh, I
Come
love
on.
Ricky.
You got to
I
do your
talked to Ricky Henderson so many times, both for my TV work at Channel 31. But I told you the best conversation I ever had with Ricky Henderson was when he was with the Yankees and not playing, and I was standing behind the backstop at Oakland before they put the fans right there, and I had one of the best 20-minute conversations I've ever had with an athlete. But, you know, Ricky always talked in the third person, and it was always a treat when you would interview Ricky Henderson. I would just say that. Speaking of a treat, you know what? If you have a house on the market and it sells, I would consider that a treat. That's good, right? If you want to buy a home, you want the process to go smoothly, right? You want to get approved for your loan. You want everything to go just perfectly. Well, that's where Village Financial Group comes in. Spencer is awesome, and it's very simple, all right? Experience a financing specialist. He has access to private money. It's like a boutique experience, like a white glove service where he's going to take you right from the start line to the finish line. And as I said, access to private money, that can come in very, very handy when you're talking about real estate. Rates now below 6%. Take advantage of it. And don't forget about home equity loans as well that Spence can do. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Also, you can check out the thousands of listings at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. Again, it makes sense to call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Oklahoma City, 45 seconds left, quarter number one, leading the New York Knicks, the score of 25-18. We'll come back. I'm going to talk about a really nice charitable deed by one of our businesses here in the local area that you can take advantage of. I'm going to talk about that next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubrud's.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. Gubrud's. Gabrud's.com.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
The new year is here, a fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear, and they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Grant Napear Show. We're at Bennett's in Roseville. So happy that you are joining us, whether it's in person or on the Fox Sports KSAC app or 104.7 FM, 890 AM, or on our website, wherever the case may be, including our YouTube channel, Fox Sports Sacramento. We're glad that you have joined us on this afternoon. I'm very happy to have Nick Delancey here. You've heard me talk about DAS Mechanical, who is giving away a heating or air conditioning unit to a family in need, a veteran. Great job. Nick, thanks very much for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Grant.
Why'd you decide to do this? This is a great gesture on your part.
We're always looking for ways to give back, and what better way for us than to give a heating or cooling unit to someone that maybe is going without.
Yeah. And you talk about a heating or air conditioning unit that you will install, right? So everything will be taken care of.
Installation included, yep.
All right, dasmechanical.org. It's pretty simple, right? You go on the website, you just click on the link, have, a couple of minutes to fill out the form?
Yeah, it's just one-page form.
Yeah.
Yep, really easy.
And you're hoping for a hot summer this year, aren't you?
We are.
Talk about, like, your business and like how much of it is dictated on something you can't control, which is the weather, both whether it's in the winter or the summer.
So it's very weather driven. The hot summers ramp up a lot of the business. Yeah.
I really encourage people to go to dasmechanical.org and nominate another individual. And I think it would be great to be able to do this for a veteran. Boy, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
I agree. Yep. We're looking forward to it.
So talk a little bit more about your business. It's family owned and you're in the Placer and Sacramento County areas. And just the amount of variation in your jobs, whether it's a small house or it's a big business, you do it all, don't you?
Yeah, we do everything from residential to commercial, maintenance, installation, service repairs. We do backup generator installation, electrical panel change outs, heating and cooling units. So we do a lot of stuff.
All right. How important, homeowners that are listening, is it to have it serviced on a regular basis?
Especially if it's older than 5 years, it's very important if you want to get longevity out of your equipment.
All right. So something else I've been talking about, we talk about systems going from gas to electric and the change outs, and you do that. And you think that if somebody's system is 15 years or older, they may want to at least look into that. Contact you at dasmechanical.org. And a lot of people are doing that now, right?
Yeah, it's a good idea, especially if you're in the SMUD territory. The rebates are pretty significant, so it makes a lot of sense to get a more high energy efficient unit.
And it saves quite a bit monthly on the energy bill, huh?
It does. Yep.
And I'll tell you, if gas prices start surging, electric would be the way to go. Does that depend on the size of the structure, or is that a 1-2 day job? How long would it take to do something like that?
Typically, to change from a gas to electric unit, it's usually about a 2-day job.
A 2-day job. Yep. All right. Good to know. And again, dasmechanical.org. I think what's great, you'll come out and do a consultation on an individual's house, business, whatever, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And how does that work?
Free estimates as well. So we will come out, we'll assess the home, discuss the options and see what's best for their home and what's going to work best for them, and go from there.
And then you have people that say, man, I really don't want to spend that much now. And you can give them another option. We say, okay, we get that. This is what I can do for you, right? So you give them more than one option.
Yeah, we do like a good, better, best option. but we also have financing options available as well with no interest.
And that's awesome. No interest to keep in mind. So here's the deal. If you or somebody you know, right, needs a heating and air conditioning unit, all right, with installation, go to dasmechanical.org and just go to the DAS donation form. It's very simple, all right? It's very simple. And you can do that, and this is going to be towards we're gearing up for the holiday season already ahead next year, right? So we're going to make someone's holiday very, very good.
Yeah, correct. We're looking to make this finalized around the end of the year.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great job. Thanks, Nick.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. That's
Thanks,
Nick
Grant.
Delancey, the owner of dasmechanical.org. And again, go to dasmechanical.org, and it is very, very simple to do. All right. 916-779-0929. Somebody said, Grant, did you hear that Harrison Barnes missed his first game since 2021 due to an injury from a nap? Crazy story, but I do miss HB on the Kings. In my opinion, the team changed for the worse since they traded him. He was a class act. 100% agree. Guy's a workhorse. He's a great person. Absolutely love him. From the 916.
Hold up. Let's clear that up. It was not an injury from a nap.
Well, I was gonna get to another message on that, but tell me, he got injured in practice, did he not?
He woke up and he had a lot of ankle soreness.
Right, but it was from the previous day's
correct.
action. Right.
Yes, he was not injured during a nap.
Right. No, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Said youth baseball is terrible because of this launch angle and pitch counts. I understand. I'm with you 100%. Now, I don't watch youth baseball, but I don't like the way the game is played. I don't like the way the game has been played. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's how these players at a young age can compare themselves to current major league players because they can't be on the field with them. But if their launch angle, their bat speed, their ball speed is around a major league player's number, then they're like, all right, we're getting there.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's all out there.
So after Grant's rant, I want to talk to you, Rhino, about the game last night and the 8 games that remain in the month of March. I want to get to some of the things that happened last night. So after I do my rant here in a couple of moments, I want to get into the game that was played here last night against Phoenix. We hate those 8 o'clock starts. We thank those of you that joined us over on YouTube and X for the post-game show. We really appreciate your support. But, again, thank goodness for Max Reynaud right now because, boy, if Max wasn't playing well, Ryan, I don't even know what we would talk about on the post-game shows a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's consistent, and he's doing it against a variety of opponents. He is super, super coachable. Everything you want in a young player.
Yeah. This one, can you ask if umpires were allowed to get autographs for their kids after the game? No, they didn't get autographs for the kids. They were professional, all right? That's not something that you saw the umpires doing. So, this isn't like romper room. All right, this is a professional sport with professionals, and the umpires aren't going up to the players asking them for autographs. All right, that doesn't happen.
Wait, you're telling me Brian did not do a jersey switch with Aaron Judge?
Well, I'll tell you the one thing Brian did do, which I think all umpires would do. President Bush would very often be at a Texas Rangers game and love talking to the umpires. And he would, I'm talking about President Bush, go into the umpires' locker room because the umpires loved talking to him and he loved talking to the umpires. And so I got a great story. Brian's brother did 4 tours of duty over in Afghanistan and Iraq, okay?
Yep.
So President Bush comes into their locker room and he says, hey, my brother is over in Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. And to make a long story short, Brian from the umpire's room calls his brother, answers the phone, and he goes, I've got someone that wants to say hello to you. And hands the phone to President Bush. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that it doesn't really get much better than that. That was like, wow. So, yeah, that's about the only thing I ever remember with Brian, who, by the way, is on his way home and he's listening right now. But, the umpires are professional. They're not going around asking players for autographs for their kids. I mean, that doesn't happen. That
No,
doesn't happen.
no, but Brian's salt of the earth. You have a World Series ring, an umpire's World Series ring. He brought Jerry and I baseballs from the World Series that he umped. Love him. Love you, Brian.
Said MLB needs to get rid of the DH, bring a glove, bring a bat. I disagree with you. I like the designated hitter, but I grew up with that. I don't like the basically the automatic out from the pitchers. I'm not a fan of that. I like the DH. What about you, Rhino?
I like the DH.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got no problem with it at all. No problem.
It might be the best job in baseball. You just bat.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure, though.
Yeah, no question. Boy, the sliders they're handing out here look great. They're doing a great job out here at Bennett's. Come on out and see us if you're getting off work, getting done with school. Come on out and see us, Eureka and Lead Hill Boulevard. We are happy to see you. The Thunder and the Knicks separated by 5 points, with the Thunder leading 4 minutes, 15 seconds gone by in quarter number 2. I've got Grant's rant coming up in just a little bit. I could rant on Dorian's pants that basically just go over the knees. I thought that we've got knickers here from Scotland. I think he's getting ready to play golf, for crying out loud.
Dorian's got style. I'm telling you.
No, see, Dorian, Ryan said you've got style. I call it something different. He calls it style. I don't know. You call that style, Rhino?
Well, I haven't seen the pants, but I just know the guy's got style. He knows what he's doing.
Dorian, come over here for a minute. Come over here. Sit down over here. All right, let's go. Sit down over here.
Take a seat.
Got his mic on. All right, so Dorian, I'm seeing you in New York. All right, you're going to watch the Kings take on the Knicks. It's like the middle of the biggest storm of the decade. And I'm looking at your pictures, and your pants come down to just halfway to your calves.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with you, dude? There's snow out there and everything. What? You just a tough guy or what?
Grant, I love the cold weather, man. I was just telling my friend Desmond over here at Bennett's at Roseville. If you're not here at Bennett's at Roseville, you got to come by. But yeah, I was just telling him I love the cold weather. I could just, playing football at Sac State, we were just talking running gassers at 105-degree weather on turf. That was a couple years ago, 10 years ago, obviously. But I just love the cold, man, and I'll put some shorts on.
Well, I'll make a deal for you. All right. This is being recorded, correct?
Yes.
If the economic impact in Sacramento is $985 million over 5 years, I'll wear the same type of pants that you wear. Okay?
I don't think that's gonna happen though, Grant.
Grant, here's the difference. Dorian never skips leg day. I don't know if the same is true for you. So
I don't.
That's why he gets to wear those pants.
Yeah, you work out all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I love CrossFit, man. I built my career on CrossFit, so I got really good at CrossFit. I was almost I guess I would consider myself a semi-professional athlete in the CrossFit fitness space.
Okay.
Obviously coming from football, but yeah, man, I love CrossFit. I love breathing hard and lifting weights and
that's good.
Moving some barbells, man. It's fun. Doing gymnastics is fun.
How old are you?
I'll be 34 next month.
Wow.
So
how about me? I'm 66.
You look good, man. You look good.
Let's go work out.
Let's go work out. Let's go exercise.
Let's go.
I can't. I've tried doing a little bit of golf, but it's just too slow for me.
All right.
And I could probably work on my swing a little bit, but I would say I'm a pretty good putter. I did caddying for a whole summer. That was really fun.
Is that right?
That was really fun. I love exercising and running, and that was really good. And I got really good at putting, but I still cannot swing a golf club. But yeah, the sport's a little too slow for me. But any other sport though, man, I'm game for it.
All right, lacrosse.
I'll play.
All right, let's go, man.
I'll play.
You be the goalie and I'll shoot on you.
I'll play. I'll play. I love fast sports. I love speed.
This is going to be you in the goal. You're gonna have whiplash when I'm done with you.
I mean, yeah, you played for college. I mean, you play in college. The Bowling Green. So I mean, that's the top of the MAC right there.
The Mid-American Conference, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
But we didn't play any MAC schools. We were playing Ohio State.
Yeah.
I was playing in all the big football
of course.
stadiums, and then we would go east and get killed by all the good teams in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Olden Polonice's alma mater, Virginia, like our first time outside after a big snowstorm. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Those are good memories though, man. College, I mean, obviously.
You know what was great about playing at Virginia? A lot of the fans were in the stands, but they had a lot of fans around the perimeter of the field.
Okay.
And they were just letting us have it.
Wow.
And I just thought, man, this is great. I'm being cursed at. They're like, hey, number 11, you suck, blah, blah, blah. Like I enjoyed that. I was like, okay, let's go.
What was the crowd like actually at lacrosse games?
It depends where you were.
Yeah.
There were some of the smaller schools that we played at. We played at Ohio State. We played at Michigan. But if you went east and played at the Naval Academy, which we did, or
Okay.
you played at Towson State, which is a real big lacrosse school, or
Okay.
some of the others, there were several thousand. We used to go to Denison and Ohio Wesleyan, which were great lacrosse programs, smaller schools, and it would be packed.
Wow.
Ohio Wesleyan was like, wow. And they were really, really good in lacrosse.
Yeah.
And there would be fans lined up all around the field and in the stands, and they did not stop yelling at you the whole game. And
That's amazing.
it's very competitive, very close games. And that was a lot of fun for me.
That's amazing.
But the best time was to go into like Ohio State at the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
Right after they had their spring football game, and that was a trip. That was a trip to be playing lacrosse at the stadium right after the spring football game.
That's awesome, Grant.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. Come out to Bennett's.
I had 5 goals that game too as a
5
freshman.
goals? 5 goals as a freshman?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yep.
Come out to Bennett's, guys.
Yeah, come out to Bennett's in Roseville. Come on out and see us. Good stuff. All right. Yes. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. Said Dorian, there is great golf course for putters at I-80 in Madison. There you go. So you get a tip. It's all good. Good stuff. Hey, Grant's Rant is coming up next. And then we've got 1 hour left here from Bennett's. Grant Napear, Fox Sports, Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubrud's.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. Gubrud's. Gabrud's.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. After trading away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams for a haul of draft capital, the Jets' rebuild became evident. That's why the franchise tagging running back Breece Hall raised eyebrows. On the surface, committing roughly $14 million to a running back during a rebuild feels counterintuitive. The Jets have holes across the roster. Premium resources are supposed to be preserved, not allocated to a position many deem replaceable. But rebuilds are not conducted in a vacuum. At 24, Hall is not a declining veteran clinging to past production. He's a top talent. Draft picks represent possibility. Hall represents proof. If New York continually flips young talent for future assets, the cycle never stabilizes. It may not be conventional, but if the Jets want to avoid living in the top 5, they cannot move every cornerstone. Some pieces have to stay. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, Visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Yokohama tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Yokohama test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
All right, Ryan, dial me up, buddy. What do you got?
All right, Nate. Last night, the NBA on NBC on Peacock did a throwback night, which came off very well. I thought they did a good job. Isaiah Thomas was a little bit creepy with Hannah Storm, but this has spurred a lot of significant talking heads around the country to request more and more throwback nights, but not just more throwback nights. They would like the players to be wearing the uniforms of the old players that used to play, the legends of the game, on the back of their jerseys. They would also like the refs to play or ref the game more like they did in 1995, et cetera, et cetera.
Are you talking about even the shorts, the tight
even
shorts?
the shorts? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah, Kobe. You couldn't even get Kobe to do that for a full game.
No.
So
no.
it's a great idea. The night they did it well, but let's keep it at that. Let's not expand it and try to recreate these guys' glory days.
Yep.
Second of all, you mentioned it earlier. Mike Silver came out with the article about the Raiders in the Athletic and the Max Crosby situation. In that article, it detailed the fact that Tom Brady is outsourcing much of his influence in that organization, I'm paraphrasing here, to a wellness manager that has been tied to Tom Brady for a very long time. And it is a very awkward situation in that building. Sounds very similar to what has happened in the past with the Kings. And last but not least, Pat McAfee had Aaron Rodgers on his show today. He was non-committal about coming back to play next year for Mike McCarthy and the Steelers. He said that he is in really good shape at 42 years old and, quote, "I want my wife to bleep me all the time on national television."
You know, there's a lot of ways I can go because I really like all three. So I'm going to do a couple of them here. All right. First of all, you know what the NBA really needs to do, instead of like having throwback games and throwback this, is fix their game. All right. Have games that mean something. Have players that give a damn, that want to play. Okay. Make it into the way the game used to be played. Change the three-point shot around. Get rid of the corner three instead of having a three-point shooting contest every night. Okay. Stop the load management, stop the nonsense, and have a competitive league. That's what they should do. Forget about like throwing it back to the Bird, Magic, Isaiah Thomas era. How about fixing your game? How about paying attention to that? And as far as Aaron Rodgers going, I've known Aaron for a long time. Really? It's March 4th. You don't know if you're going to play or not? Yes, you do. Stop with the nonsense. I mean, do we have to go through this again this year with Aaron Rodgers? Oh, is he going to play? Is he going to play? Is he going to play? You know what? If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't want him to play. All right, I don't need a 42-year-old quarterback coming up with Mike McCarthy, and I don't care that they won a Super Bowl when they were in Green Bay. That doesn't mean anything to me. That's a long time ago. Go out and get a new quarterback, all right? What are you going to do? You're going to bring Aaron Rodgers back for a couple of months or maybe a year? Then what? Then you're going to have to start all over again the following year? Forget about that. Fix your football team. All right, go get a quarterback. Go get Kyler Murray if you want. Go get a quarterback that at least can play a little bit. And I know Aaron had some very good games, but enough already. I got to now listen to Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee saying he doesn't know if he's going to play or not. What are you waiting for? It's March. The football New Year starts coming up on the 11th. How about letting the Pittsburgh Steelers know what you want to do? I mean, it's so much drama. Enough already with this. Make up your freaking mind. Are you playing or you're not playing? All right, let us know. If I'm the Steelers, I'm giving them until like today at 6:01. You got to let us know. If you don't play, you're not on the team. Seriously. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. How about let the Pittsburgh Steelers put their team together with the start of free agency next week? It's just, I mean, enough already. Enough already. And those are my rants for today. So, Rhino, last night, a really good first quarter for Sacramento, and then reality set in, and it was men against boys in the second quarter and men against boys in the third quarter. And then, basically it's a glorified scrimmage in the fourth quarter. They actually made a little run, and they made it to a point where it wasn't an embarrassing final score. But as I was saying a little while ago, Precious Achiuwa continues to play well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year. I do know Max Reno is going to be on the team next year, and he's certainly been a bright spot.
Yeah, he has. And I mentioned it last night. You can physically see, or you can see visually, the fact that he's put on a little bit of weight during the season, which is not easy to do because of the amount of cardio and travel that's going on. But Jerry thought his defense needs some work. I don't think his defense is as bad as Jerry said. I kind of disagree there. But he is definitely, with, I believe, last night, his 14th double-double of the season.
Yep.
Really just a massive bright spot. And now you really turn to Nate Clifford, because I feel like we know what we have, and you're seeing a little more consistency, Grant, but we're not seeing it offensively all the time.
Yep. Well, I told you when I was with Peja Stojakovic before the season began in September, he said, I'm starting. If I'm coaching a team, I'm starting Max Reno. I go, you're starting him?
Yeah.
He goes, absolutely. And then I was with Peja again yesterday, and we were talking about Max, and he was right on. I said, hey, I got to give you credit. I go, you were spot on about Max Reno. And he goes, I'm telling you, I love him. He was talking about his attributes, and he's going to have a long career. So he's only going to get better and better, Ryan. It's not like he's near a ceiling. He's not even, his body's not near a ceiling. His game's not near the ceiling. He's going to be a heck of a player.
Yeah, I'm with you. And one thing that I don't think we talk about enough is how much he talks on the court, and how verbal he is, pointing guys and pointing to certain things. And that's important. You need that from your point guard, and you need that from your center who's anchoring the defense. So as a rookie, to take up that responsibility, really big on that. Noah Eagle and Grant Hill did the broadcast last night. I thought they did a very, very good job. And they were talking, Max was definitely the talk of the broadcast, and they see the potential and really liked what he brought in that short visit to Sacramento for them.
Boy, how about the Knicks offense in this first half? They have 38 points with a half minute left. Wow.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
47-38, a low-scoring game. I'll tell you right now, it won't be long before the Boo Birds are out at MSG. I can guarantee you that.
See, okay, I think the Knicks are looking at this season. It doesn't really matter per se. They want to be towards the top of the East, but it doesn't matter. They just want to be in the dance and probably hosting a playoff series, at least their first series. But when
do you know James Dolan?
I do not.
Okay, well, I can tell you right now, he would disagree with you.
Okay, fair enough. But
he's the owner of the Knicks, by the way, for the folks that are listening that aren't aware of that. But go ahead.
Oh, I think everybody knows him. Also a singer, too. Napes. Yeah. No missing Dolan, the guy that threw Oakley out of the building. Anyways.
That's funny.
I think the Knicks are paying attention more to how they're playing against the playoff teams. And they're not doing well against, obviously, Detroit. Right now, they're struggling against the Thunder. I think that is what stirs the pot more for them.
Here's what it comes down to with the Knicks. All right. The only thing that matters with the Knicks is what happens when the second season begins. This doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Is that the owner has made it very public that he expects his team to go to the NBA Finals and win a championship. And I don't think this team is championship caliber, but he does, and he's the owner. And here's the other aspect, right? You got Tom Thibodeau, who had the best season in 25 years, taking the team to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he gets fired. And, Mike Brown, listen, he's getting $10 million a year. He's not going to lose sleep if he gets fired. But the point is, there is a lot riding on this. By the way, the Knicks do score at the end of the half, but they only have 40, and they're down by 10, 50-40 at the break. But seriously, Ryan, they're going to be judged by one thing and one thing only, and that's how they do in the postseason.
100%. You're spot on. I thought it was really interesting, though, when Dolan went on, I forget whose podcast it was, and he talked about this version of the Knicks being a collaborative effort. They've got, more voices talking about how to succeed this season. And I wonder if that is laying out a little bit more runway for Mike Brown when, as you just said, it's championship or bust, because Thibodeau, he got fired, and I think he had a better team at this point of the season last year.
Well, there's a lot to that. There's no question about that. And this game's not over. I mean, they're only down by 10, but certainly Oklahoma City is really bottling them up defensively.
Yes, they are. Hey, I want to bounce something off of you that I found really interesting from Noah Eagle. So he was talking about their conversations with Doug Christie. And when Doug was asked about Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan, and I'm going to paraphrase here, he said that they have, quote unquote, corporate knowledge. So I take that as meaning, they're vets. They've been around the league. But this is what kind of caught my eye based off of some of the reports we're hearing. Noah Eagle said that Doug Christie wants the rookies to take Russell Westbrook's intensity into the offseason and DeMar DeRozan's composure into the offseason and instill that into themselves. It's going to be a big point of emphasis. And I don't know how to feel about that.
It really doesn't matter because Doug's not going to be here to talk about that after this season. So we only have to listen to this nonsense for another 5 weeks. And then after that, you won't have to listen to this nonsense anymore. So, I mean, that's how I would interpret that. It's just talk. It's just, hey, I think I'm going to sound good when I'm talking to the NBC announcers. So the whole thing is just a joke. It just is an absolute joke. This whole season has been nothing but a catastrophe. I mean, the injuries are one thing, and that's not Doug Christie's fault. I mean, I can't blame the coach for the injuries.
Sure.
He has nothing to do with that. But I can blame him for the lineups. I can blame him for not playing Keon Ellis. I can blame him for benching Malik Monk. I can blame him for, the stupidity of having your best player come back and you bring him off the bench for one game, that's fine. But then you don't start in the next game, and you don't start in the next game, and you embarrass him.
Yep.
I mean, the whole thing has been a clown show this year. It really has.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. Last night, though, it does point to this one thing, Grant, that a rebuild does not have to be complicated if it's done the right way.
Yeah.
The Suns backed off of multiple stars. They built the right pieces or got the right pieces around a bona fide star, and ball movement last night was just a joy to watch, to the point that Grant Hill tippy-toed around comparing Colin Gillespie to Steve Nash.
Wow. That's
huge.
Wow.
Yes.
How about that, huh?
Yes. He goes, I'm not making the direct comp, but, and he laid out the similarities.
Wow. Okay. That to me is very interesting, Ryan. That's very interesting. Kings and Pelicans tomorrow, which means we'll be on after the game over on YouTube and X. We'll be on roughly at about 9:15, 9:30. The Pelicans in the West are 19-44. They have lost 2 in a row. And on the road, they are 8-23. The Kings at home are a whopping 9-21. All right, bold prediction. This homestand with a lot of winnable games, even though they're injured. The Kings have 14 wins. Will they have 6 more wins the rest of the year, which gives them 20?
No.
Okay.
You?
No. Not unless the other team only has 3 players on the floor and the Kings can play 5-on-3.
I don't think they're going to finish ahead of, what was the really bad team? Was it 2017, 2018?
17 or 18, I believe.
Right. I would be shocked if they pass 17 wins.
So you think that could equal it? Now,
I do.
Their net rating is minus 10.9, their point differential. The next worst in the NBA in the Western Conference is 7.9. No one is worse than the Kings at, as I said, minus 10.9.
Mind-blowing. And
I mean, it is mind-boggling.
Once you finish this homestand, you head back east again, which is your third trip back east. And the rest of the season, I mean, you have Charlotte, could be winnable. At Orlando, I
Yep.
don't think that's winnable.
No way. They're going to get blown out in that game.
At Atlanta, maybe your next opportunity then is at Brooklyn.
Yep.
At Toronto, you're going to get blown out. New Orleans at home again, the Clippers at home. You're at Golden State, and then Golden State comes here and you finish the season at Portland. So Portland might be a winnable game. I think it's 3 max, Napes.
Yeah, well, it's got to be here on this homestand if it's going to happen, I would believe, because, when you look at Brooklyn at the end of this homestand and you look at both the Pacers, Charlotte's playing better, but the Pacers certainly is a game that you look at. The Bulls aren't, destroying teams like the way they did very early in the season. I don't like the matchups, never have, when the Kings play the Pelicans, healthy or not healthy. But I'm with you in the April schedule. You're not going to win at Toronto. Probably not going to beat the Pelicans. Probably not going to beat the Clippers. You won't win at Golden State. You won't win at home against Golden State. And so I'm with you. It's got to be on this homestand coming up. I think you're spot on. Yeah.
You know who just passed Cooper Flagg for the favorite for Rookie of the Year?
Yes, I saw that. And do you agree or disagree?
100% agree.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're talking about Mr. Charlotte, North Carolina, yes?
Mr. Con Knipple.
Yeah. Yeah.
He broke
Reserve,
Keegan,
right?
He broke Keegan Murray's record in 59 games from beyond the three-point line for a rookie.
Yeah, I'm not as caught up in that as a lot of people because the game changes. The game keeps on moving farther and farther away from the basket every year. But still, you got to make the shot. By the way, Charlotte is in the play-in. You know that. They're going to be in the play-in all likelihood. They're 31-31. I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen.
I expect them to actually get a little bit better now that they have Kobe White in
Yes,
the mix.
I totally agree with you. And I'll tell you, with Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, and Orlando, again, right now, those are the 4 teams that would be in the play-in. I wouldn't be shocked if Charlotte won that thing and ended up being the 8th seed.
No, not at all, especially if that 3 ball's fallen.
Yeah. And I mean, they could be the 7th seed. I mean, right now they're 9, but they're not that far out of Miami. Philadelphia is 33-28, and they're really struggling, losing 6 of 10. So,
that was brutal last night. 40 points.
Oh, terrible.
On national
Absolutely
television.
terrible. Yeah, absolutely terrible. It's not terrible. And we talk with Nick Delancey from DAS Mechanical. We're talking about heating and air, right? We talk about their HVAC specialists, but you know what they also are? Good people. And they're donating a heating or air conditioning unit. So if you or someone you know or a veteran is in need of a heating or air conditioning unit, all you need to go is dasmechanical.org. Click on the 2026 HVAC donation link, and it's right there for you. Take you a moment, fill out the nomination form, and then maybe you or the person you nominate will be getting a heating or air conditioning unit with installation from DAS Mechanical. That's dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org. Do it, and maybe you or somebody you know will be very, very happy. We'll come back. We'll talk more about the Kings, the NBA, and anything else that's on your mind. We can do that right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
I love the exercise classes at the senior center, and I love eating healthy, but it can be expensive. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to programs that help me pay for groceries. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Welcome back to Bennett's in Roseville. 916-779-0929. Don't forget, Saturday, we will be at the Capitol Mall for the Capitol Beer Fest, brought to you by Elk Grove Chevrolet. Me and Rhino will be there. Our staff will be there. It will be a lot of fun. So come on out and see us. That is on Saturday, and the weather forecast looks absolutely perfect. Looks great. Looks great. Rhino, you all good for that? You ready to roll?
Can't wait. I was listening to you earlier. You could sneak in around to golf. You just got to get up in the morning.
It's not happening. So 75 is the high on Saturday. How about that? 75.
I do have a complaint. It was humid last Saturday.
It was what?
It was humid here.
Oh, my God. Stop it, would you please?
Hey, for us, it was humid. Us without passports that are domestically stuck in the States.
I was in Phoenix last Saturday, and it was in the 90s.
But dry. Give me the dry heat all day.
Yeah. Wait, you don't think there's dry heat here?
No,
there's no humidity in California.
No, we had humidity last Saturday.
Stop it. Would you please stop it? You don't know what humidity is. You've never experienced humidity. You have no idea what you're talking about. Humidity here last Saturday. Are you kidding me or
100%.
Stop it.
Yes.
What were you in a steam room at the gym? There's no humidity here.
It was humid. Clouds were low.
Oh, stop.
It had just rained a little bit.
Stop.
Grant,
come on.
Grant, we were sweating between the car and the front door. I mean, it's not the humidity that you have in Florida, but for somebody that's not used to humidity.
Humidity.
Yes, humidity.
Yeah, like Ryan, my main wingman here, Rhino in Sacktown, is the first person in the history of Sacramento to talk about the humidity in the first week of March being an issue. I've lived here since 1987. That's never happened before. So, Rhino, I appreciate you educating me with a new take on Sacramento humidity in the month of March. Good job.
Glad I could help, Grant.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Glad I could help. I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive to the humidity. I don't like it. It's nasty.
Really?
Yes.
But
all right. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, could I play a round of golf in this right now? I'm like,
sure you could.
I mean, I don't know if it would have been super enjoyable, but yeah, I probably could have powered through it.
All right.
But I would have thought twice. By the way, how was Phoenix?
Phoenix was great. I love that area. I don't love it in June, July, August, or September, but I've always been a big fan of Phoenix. Have you been there?
I have not been to Phoenix proper, but I've been to Arizona.
Okay. Phoenix and Scottsdale and that whole surrounding area. I've always loved Phoenix, and I used to go there, obviously not only with the Kings, but to cover spring training for many years when I was at Channel 31, and that's where I, had so many great interviews with Ricky Henderson, and he was one of my favorite guys to talk to. Love Ricky. He was great. Loved it. Also, Will Clark, one of my favorites to interview. Love talking to Will Clark. Always fun. Always fun. Said, yeah, you guys have weather problems. Poor babies. That's from New York. Patrick, can you believe that? That I'm talking with my wingman who's talking about humidity in Sacramento on the last day of February. It wasn't even March. It was February 28th, the day he's talking about. Wasn't even March, Ryan. I got my facts wrong. It was February 28th.
February, January, March. Doesn't matter. It's humid.
By the way, I don't know if you're watching the telecast. Whoever put Tim Legler's makeup on, when Legs goes to take his makeup off tonight, he's going to need a blowtorch. Can we just ease off on the makeup a little bit? I mean, seriously.
Tim. Poor
oh, my gosh.
Tim.
No, really.
Napes, did you do your own man cake?
Well, I did for the Kings games, but when I used to fill in for Romy, they have a makeup artist, and
Cindy.
she would do it for me. And then the first time she wanted to do my eyes, I go, don't you dare. You don't touch my eyes.
Cindy's the best. Was it Cindy?
There's not happening. I go, no. You're not touching my eyes. Like they wanted to put mascara on. I'm like, that is not happening.
Mascara?
Yeah, because, I have basically invisible eyelashes and eyebrows because of my red hair and my skin tone. I'm like, that's not happening. And then they would come in sometimes during the commercials and come in with their little powder. And I'm like, no. No.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. John Finch, welcome to the Grant Napear Show.
What's up, John? How are you, buddy?
Grant, I'm doing good. How are you, buddy?
I'd be a lot better if you were out here at Bennett's.
Man, I wish I was, but I happen to be at home and I have barbecue going with a tri-tip on and onion, potatoes, asparagus, the normal.
Then you know what? I excuse you because where you are sounds great, so I can't complain. I understand completely.
Man, I wish I was there, though. Hopefully, though, Saturday coming up, downtown.
Yep.
11 to whenever?
Yep. 11 to 3, I believe is what it is.
All right, and you guys got a booth, man. I'm going to make it.
Yeah, we're going to be down there. Yeah. We got a tent set up. We got everything, huh?
Ryan's going to be the photographer too.
He'll be doing a little bit of everything. He'll be, trying to figure out what the percentage of the humidity is when the weather is up to 75 degrees, and he may have to, go get some medical care. With that type of weather, that may be too much for him. So I'm not really sure what he's going to be doing.
Well, a second ago, I was compelled to call because the guy who is complaining about the humidity, is the guy who does not have a passport. Unless, Ryan, get him on board. Do you have a passport yet? I know it could have happened by now.
No, he doesn't. He has until what day do you have?
Passport, Ryan?
No, he doesn't have a passport. He can't get a passport in 2 days. But we were talking about he has until the end of March to apply for the passport.
Yes.
Oh,
right?
I missed part of the criteria for that then. Okay.
Yep. Application by...
I'm taking the over instead of the under then, Ryan.
You
Unless
got...
you persuade me.
Finch, I need some more support there, man. Some more belief. I got this.
Right. Ryan, I have your back. But Grant, I have your back too.
John, you always have my back. You're absolutely right. But, with Ryan, the first thing is I'll know he's serious when he tells me he got his passport photos taken.
When that happens, Grant, I guess that is the criteria for the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to try to talk Dorian and his girlfriend to make an international trip with me. And I'm going to show them a part of the world that will, really, I was going to say knock his socks off, but he doesn't wear socks. So that's not possible. But, I'll figure it out.
Socks?
You know what I think? You know what? Maybe I'll take him to Thailand and let him do, since he loves all sports, I'll put him in the ring and let him do a little Muay Thai boxing. I want to see him in there do some Muay Thai boxing.
Against you?
Yeah, Muay Thai?
Which you can gamble on legally. Should I bet on you or should I bet on the Thai boxer? You bet on you? All right, I'm going to bet on Dorian.
Listen, Grant.
Small amount of money.
Listen, Grant. I'm a freaking gamer, man. I might not practice all that well, but when you see me practice, I practice well. But when it's game time, I'm on board.
All right.
But Dorian, he's one of all of us. He's a gamer. He's got a quick first step, I think. You do. I know I do. We've all talked about it. I've been one of the greatest hacky sack players in the world. And you said that's not that important. However, everybody in the world knows what that is. Man, I'm so glad, Grant, that you're back on the air and you could talk for a living again. And
Thank
you're back
you, John.
here.
Appreciate it.
Look up at the sky, man. Such a beautiful freaking day, Grant. We're
Thank
doing
you,
it.
buddy.
Rhino, you're the best, buddy.
Appreciate you, brother.
You're the best
Thank you.
owner.
Take care, bud. See you. All right, so Mr. IndyCar, Lynn, is coming to the defense of Ryan on the text line at 916-779-0929. Grant, Ryan was right. The humidity on 2/28/2026 was historic and broke records over 90%. So what was the temperature? Forget about the humidity. What was the temperature? You guys are such give me a freaking break. It's 70 degrees and you're worried about the humidity? You know what? Go to Miami when it's 90 degrees with 90% humidity. Go to Long Island and go to New York City and Manhattan with my main man Dorian here, when he takes his girlfriend to Central Park in the summer and he wants to go for a little jog in the morning and it's 92 degrees with 92% of humidity, then you can talk to me about what humidity is. Don't tell me about humidity on February 28th in Sacramento, California, when it's 68 degrees outside. Give me a freaking break, would you please?
Napes, you just don't jump into the deep end. You got to get habituated to the humidity. 90% out of the norm for us here that don't travel around the world. But soon will.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey,
poor Ryan.
It's funny that John brought up hacky sack because the Kings, there's a group of them that are always doing that with the basketball. They're dribbling back and forth after practice with their feet, playing hacky sack. It's hilarious. So good job, Jim. Or John.
Yeah, he's always good.
Good job.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, again, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. We are rolling right along. Kevin Nagel of the Sacramento Republic, the owner, and he's building a beautiful stadium with the help of his investors at the rail yards. Kevin Nagel is coming on with me tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And so we're going to talk about the Republic. They open up their campaign on Saturday, and we're looking forward to that tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So hope you can listen, because there are going to be some updates that I think you're going to find very interesting. Good thing I don't have to talk for a living. I think you're going to be very interested in these updates about the stadium that's going to open for the 2028 season. That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome at the rail yards. That's going to be such a great addition to our city to have that facility. And MLS is still in the works. It's not like they're not saying it can happen. I'm just a little, and it's not my money. So, but the expansion fee for an MLS team is ridiculous. And again, I'm not a soccer expert, and I'm certainly not qualified to talk about the MLS, but it just seems to me, and again, that there are too many teams in the MLS. And the reason why I say that is because when I see Messi come in at age 36 and look like he's playing against kids in grade school on the pitch, I mean, like, I'm thinking, well, okay, what am I really watching here? And again, I know Messi is one of the greatest, if not the greatest players of all time. I acknowledge that. But he's an old man playing against pups. And I mean, come on. Right? Like, give me a break here.
Well, Grant, the best players in the world go to the Premier League.
Well, I understand. I get that. I understand that. But, like, you still need players to fill your sport in the MLS, right? It's not like you still don't need players, regardless of whether your best players are being in the Premier League or not. I understand that.
Yeah, and that's why I think what the Sac Republic is doing is great with the youth program.
Yes, I agree. I think the Sacramento Republic has been one of the best things to happen to Sacramento in a long time. And you told me you went out there with your son last year, and your son loved it. I mean, I love it. It's great when I go out there. I enjoy it. I have a good time, and I'm not a soccer fan. But the environment, they do a great job. I got to tell you. Yep. They really do. They really do a nice job.
And you know who catered our area that night?
Who?
Liam was super happy. It was Bennett's and Margot and the team.
That does not surprise me. They're everywhere.
Yep.
That does not surprise me. Yeah. So anyway, Kevin Nagel is going to be coming on tomorrow at 5 o'clock, right after Grant's Rant. And we will talk a little bit about everything that's going on soccer-wise in Sacramento. And I'll ask Kevin about the MLS. I'll ask him, where we at with that. But the stadium at the rail yards, it's going to be great. I don't know if you've seen the renderings of that, Rhino, but I was looking at them again the other night. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to be very proud of that. And I'll tell you something else. I was thinking about this driving here today. I was just thinking of, maybe I'm crazy, but that's going to be a multi-purpose facility. Mm-hmm. And we're hearing about Sacramento State wanting to build a football stadium at Cal Expo. Why not play in that beautiful stadium in the rail yards? The distance is not that much further.
I literally said that, and you called me out. You're like, it's got to be on campus. It's got to be on campus.
No. I still do think it needs to be on campus. That's not my point. But what I'm saying is Cal Expo is not on campus. So if you're going to move off campus, why not go to a first-class facility that's already built? That's the point. No, I think it should be on campus. But what I'm saying, Ryan, if they go ahead and say Cal Expo, well, why don't they go play at a beautiful new stadium at the rail yards?
No doubt. Absolutely. I think ideally you would have that stadium, that facility for both.
I mean, are you kidding me? The
programs.
Bowling Green State University Falcons, if they could play at the rail yards, you know what a thrill that would be for them to come out from Bowling Green, Ohio, and play at the rail yards.
And especially on Sac State's dollar. It's a
And
vacation.
on ESPN, maybe at the
Yeah.
national game that starts at 4:00 that nobody will be there to watch.
You know, here's the other thing that we're not thinking about. It's going to really, I think, help Natomas as well. Because when you have teams coming in and out, the college teams aren't going to go stay downtown at the Sawyer. They're going to be staying someplace a little bit more reasonable. And Natomas really got hurt when Arco was shut down.
Well, I hear that, part of the deal is that Sacramento has to pay for the travel expenses for the teams that are coming out here.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're going to have so much money to spend with the $985 economic impact. But I was thinking if they're off by like $975 million, the teams that are coming out from the Mid-American Conference may be coming via Amtrak or bus.
Oh.
And so they may not be in Sacramento long enough to even get a hotel. They may get off the train in Old Sacramento at about 10:30 in the morning for a 1 o'clock kickoff, and then go right back and take the train. So they may not even be in the Natomas area.
Oh, they're going like single A baseball travel.
Right.
All right.
I'm just trying to put a little common sense together here.
I mean, what did Joe D say? I think it was like 125 to 150 they were budgeting per
150 to 200 per trip.
150 to 200.
200,000 per trip. Yeah. Good luck with that. All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap up the show, 916-779-0929, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
All right, Kings fans, quick timeout with your guy Rhino from the Grant Napear Show. Like me, if you're already watching every Reno screen every month 3, you might as well make it more interesting with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports site in America, and it's simple. You pick 2 to 6 players and choose whether they'll go more or less on their stat line. That's it. No salary caps, no revolving lineups. Tonight, maybe it's DeMar DeRozan. Points, more. Maybe it's Dylan Cardwell. Rebounds, also more. Maybe you fade somebody on the other side, like me. Pro football, hoops, elite college action. The action never stops with Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code RHINO50 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, RYNO 50 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabroods. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrood and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabroods does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabroods, expert, 5-star service, and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabroods.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabroods, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabroods.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539.
That's 800-598-0539.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Final segment out here at Bennett's in Roseville. Ryan says he's thanking Lynn for backing him up. See, Lynn, you made Ryan feel very good today. You came to his defense. So he'll never forget that. He'll appreciate that for life, right?
Yep.
So what do you think I should have for dinner tonight? Should I go with the Prime New York?
Well, let's see. You had the mushroom soup already.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a Caesar salad with the grilled shrimp for lunch.
Yeah, you're set for the Prime New York. You've already got your greens in. It's good for your stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Thank you, doctor. Appreciate that. No problem.
No, hey, I appreciate you. Second day in a row where I've been doing the fresh fruit. Feel great.
Yeah. The fruit's great. Good way to go. Absolutely. Love it. Especially when it's like the season, when it's like each produce, fruit, it has their season, right? Like the best time. And so, if you have it right in season, it's awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I passed somebody today in El Dorado Hills that were selling the fresh strawberries out on the street. And I was like, man, I didn't stop, but I was very tempted to, because I didn't know it's just strawberry season. I thought it was a little later in the year.
It's a little early right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But they look really good from the car. And I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, oh, that might work.
See,
it's a little early.
See, I look for the fresh fruit stands.
Yep.
And they cut it right in front of you. You know what I'm talking about from your travels.
I do know what you're talking about. Yes, I see that all over the world.
Yeah, and you get a massive thing of it. It would be more probably fruit than you would get at the store.
Yeah. And I try to learn. Yeah, and I try to learn when I travel to whatever country the actual word in their language of the fruit that I'm ordering, so that they're like, whoa, he knows how to say that.
Nice.
Yeah. 916-779-0929. I know, Lynn, it is too early for strawberries, but I'm just telling you, they were selling them. And this lady that's always out there in the summer, and she's always selling it. I'm like, wow, she's selling them already. So, I was thinking that because of the high humidity here in Northern California, that maybe the strawberry season has been accelerated a little bit because of all the humidity, and that would help out the strawberries, and they'd be sweeter. So maybe that's what it was. It was the impact of that humidity.
For sure. They're picking them earlier so they can't be outside later. So it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting? I don't know if you've noticed this as of late, but there's all these pop-up tent food stands that are all over Sacramento now, where people just set up on a corner with a couple of tents.
Is that right?
Yes, they're all over South Sacramento.
Is that legal, or do you need a license? Do you need a vendor's license or anything like that? I really mean that. I'm being serious.
That's the $1 million question, because food trucks, they are strictly managed about where they have to be and where the truck has to be stored and where they prep.
So if I pick oranges off my orange tree and sell them, what is that all right or no? By the way, I don't have an orange tree, but I'm just being hypothetical here.
Well, you kind of do, because I have one in the backyard. So we Napes, we have oranges.
All right.
No, I think you're fine with that. But if you're setting up and taking up literally both sides of a corner with two tents and selling food and have a menu, I gotta think you're probably not licensed, but you probably should be.
That's no different than having a lemonade stand on the corner, is it?
It's a good question.
Right?
It's a very good question. I think intent's there too. Intent goes into it. I don't think the city's going to come up to two kids that made their own lemonade
No, I would
and they're
think
selling
not.
it on the corner, but they
Well,
might.
we are in California.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, we are in California.
I had to
That
wait.
would not surprise me.
I had to wait 10 minutes to get my deodorant out of the locked cabinet.
Lynn, I don't know where I'd be without Lynn. He said the strawberry season for local grown is April. So there you have it, April. Now you know, Rhino, April. All right?
All right.
We learn
Ryan,
something every day. April.
Ryan, do these food tents have licenses? I have no idea, Lynn, but they're popping up everywhere. Like Delta Shores, for instance. Just go to Delta Shores. You'll see 2 or 3 of them.
The Knicks are coming back on the Thunder, 69-63, and they have the ball. So we'll just keep you up to date on some of the scores around the association. And I got to tell you, I'm really worried about something, Ryan, and I'm kind of nervous about this if I can share it with you.
Sure.
So last week, we had the great George McPhee on.
Yes.
And Vegas has not won a game on this road trip since I talked to him. They lost to Washington 4-3. Then they lost to Pittsburgh 5-0, and they're playing the lowly Red Wings right now. And after one, they were trailing 3-1. All right. They were trailing 3-1, and with 2 minutes left to go in the second period, it is still 3-1. And I'm a little nervous that, George will never come on with me. I might have put the whammy on his team. I shouldn't say the lowly Detroit Red Wings. That's not fair, but it's just because I went to college in Ohio and they're in Detroit. But Detroit's a pretty good team. I think they're the 3rd or 4th in the East, if I'm not mistaken. They're not bad, but they're putting it to Vegas right now. So that's only 1 goal in the last 5 periods for Vegas.
That's lean. That's
and that's
very
not good
lean.
because George does me a favor, Ryan. Right, he comes on my show and we
Yes.
have a great 25-minute conversation that was very well received and a lot of people loved it. And now they go and they lose to Washington by a goal. They get shut out in Pittsburgh 5-0, and now they're losing with 1:14 left to go in the second period, 3-1. So I need a big time comeback in the third period by the Knights.
Yeah, I hope George is not superstitious and doesn't
boy.
hold it over your head. Check out this score, by the way.
Yeah.
Charlotte 64, Boston 43 at the half.
Yeah, I see that. All right, I'm going to make a prediction that Boston wins this game.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
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 I would.
Charlotte's not playing well though. They're 31-31.
31.
They're not bad.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. I don't know if this happened weeks ago or if it actually was last night, but there was a video circulating on social media about the backup goalie coming in for a hockey team and ended up winning the game. I mean, they won the game. I think it was 7-5. But it was one of those emergency goalies.
Oh, the emergency, like the Zamboni driver and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great,
It's
absolutely.
an incredible story.
Yeah,
Guy's
I love
42.
that. I think it's one of the best stories in sport. I think it was phenomenal.
And I believe it was in Toronto
It
against
was
the
in
Maple
Toronto.
Leaves.
Yes, it
and
was.
The Leaves fans were cheering for the goalie.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
You're 100. Look at you, Mr. Hockey Guru.
I love that kind of stuff, Grant. That is the pure, unadulterated lure and magic of sports. That's why you need to leave sports alone and let them sit in their own realm. That's why we gravitate to sports.
All right. Now, can I add this? Okay.
Please.
Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive ends in the National Football League, right?
Yes.
And I've done a rant on this. By the way, he's the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He was issued a citation again for speeding after he was clocked going 94 in a 70. This is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth citation for speeding since 2017. Oh no, this is number 9. That's right, number 9. Are you kidding me or what? Seriously. He doesn't care. It's ridiculous. According to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, in 2022, he was cited for going 65 on a 45, and they put on the ticket unsafe speed for that type of roadway because it was a single car crash that injured him with a shoulder sprain. He also hurt his bicep when his vehicle flipped upside down because of his excessive speed. I ask you, Rhino, why is he driving? Why doesn't he just get his own driver, number one? And number two, is he that cavalier about it that he doesn't give a damn, that he just, blows it off when he's asked about it? Give me a freaking break here, would you please?
He's an NFL Walter Payton Award winner as well, right, Grant?
I don't know the answer to that.
I'll have to double check that. I don't
ever recall Walter Payton driving 100 miles an hour and getting pulled over, though.
I don't get it, Grant, to be honest with you. That to me,
it's embarrassing.
Screams that you've got that.
You don't care.
Yeah. I don't want to say you don't care, but you've got
that. No, you don't care.
You can't control it when you're behind the wheel. You've got
You
that
don't
need
care.
for speed. You got to channel it a different way.
It's unbelievable. It really is. I'll tell you what else is unbelievable. Spencer Village Financial Group, when it comes to real estate needs, home equity line of credit, he can do it all, kind of like a white glove service, a boutique experience. He'll take you from the start line to the finish line. He has access to private money. He is a special guy when it comes to his business because he's been doing it for a long time. Family-owned Village Financial Group. You go to vfgloans.com. You can check out thousands of listings. And remember, you can give him a call or text him at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Call or text Spence. He is great at what he does, a financing specialist. And remember, access to private money. It makes sense to call Spence, 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Don't forget, Saturday, we will be downtown at the Capitol Beer Fest, brought to you by Elk Grove Chevrolet. Come on out and see us on Saturday. Short weather, Ryan. Don't need to be, unless it's going to be humid.
Yeah.
I'll bring an umbrella for you, Rhino.
Please do.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll make sure you don't get too hot down there. I'd be a little worried about. Oh, actually, I think we have a tent you can stay in if that becomes an issue.
Well, I'll probably pack some extra liquid IV. I'll have a doctor on standby if I need an IV.
Okay.
We'll be good.
I think there's beer. I don't know if that would help the humidity, but there's going to be beer pretty much everywhere you look. Would that help you or not?
No, that'd probably make it worse. But the food trucks, I hear there's a really good food truck lineup.
I would think so too.
So that might help. We'll see.
Said Grant Ryan, I'm the official stat guy and researcher for the Grant Napear show. I wish I was there today. Well, if you're going to be the official stat guy and researcher, you got to spell my last name right because your research is off because you misspelled my last name. So if you're going to work for if you're going to research for me and you're going to be that guy, you got to get the spelling of my name right.
No, Lynn.
That just is unacceptable.
Lynn.
That's exactly right. That is unacceptable. How many times have we heard that this year?
I haven't heard it for a while, actually. Okay. Yeah. But yes,
you know why?
A lot.
Because it is acceptable. That's why you haven't heard it. Because losing by 10 every night has become acceptable. That's why.
When the Kings played in L.A., because that's the only time L.A. pays attention to the Kings, they had the normal video shot of Doug Christie before the games, and he did his routine. And, of course, that went viral because of what he does during his routine.
Well, it's like Scott Pollard. How many times do people misspell his name?
Yeah.
Which I don't know many Scotts with one T. Do you?
No. See, that I think that is acceptable. Not to Scott, but I don't know.
He gets very offended by that. He does not like that.
Yeah. Or the tall jokes. That was hilarious. What did he say? I spit and I ask if it's raining.
Right.
Something.
How about that? Yeah. Oh, boy. Here's Lynn. Come on, Lynn. Do better. Oh, boy. Lynn's now telling me autocorrect.
You know what? I trust Lynn.
You can always
on
blame
that.
the internet. You can always blame autocorrect.
Yeah, I trust Lynn on that. We're getting a lot of feedback on those food places that I was talking about, the pop-ups.
Yeah. Lynn, that's N as in Nancy, A, P as in Paul, E-A-R. If you're keeping score at home. All right? If you're keeping score at home. N-A-P-E-A-R. Easy. Let's go. Come on, Lynn. Good job.
Napier.
Yes, 2 syllables. Napier. Yes, absolutely. Again, looking forward to being back in studio tomorrow with Kevin Nagel, who's going to be joining me right after Grant's Rant at 5 o'clock. I want to say thank you to Brian Bennett for all of the food that he supplied out here, and those sliders were unbelievable. I want to say thank you to those of you that took time out of your schedule to come down and see me here. It's always great to talk to everybody, and I love the support in this community. Don't forget, tomorrow after the Kings and the Pelicans, Jerry Reynolds, Ryan. By the way, I should point out, Jerry would not mind me saying this. Jerry had a very bad bout with the flu, and he's just not quite ready to go out around crowds. So he called me and said, Napes, I'm really sorry, man. I'm not going to be able to make it. You know how much I would love to be there. I said, don't worry about it. We'll take a rain check. We'll do it next time. Again, my thanks to Bennett's and their staff. They do a great job. We appreciate the heck out of them. And to all of you, it's always great to have you on board right here on Fox Sports Sacramento. My thanks today to Brian Knight, former MLB umpire, Olden Holidays, and to all of you for Rhino and Sacktown. I'm Grant Napier saying so long, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold